From Princes Park, North Melbourne versus Sydney on AFL Live.
And a warm welcome, and I say a warm welcome because it's a hot, balmy day in Melbourne today to Princes Park. North Melbourne up against Sydney. It's one of two matches in round 6 today. The other from the MCG between Essendon and Geelong. And we'll be giving you progress scores throughout the afternoon from that important match. Last night there were two matches to commence round 6. One at Football Park in Adelaide with nearly 47,000 people, where Hawthorn successful over the Adelaide Crows by 17 points. And another very good crowd at the MCG last night to see Melbourne wallop Richmond by 93 points. So they've been the two big winners so far this weekend, Hawthorn and Melbourne. The latest on the Sydney coaching situation is that Ron Barassi remains an overwhelming favourite. He's expected to be announced early this week as the coach for the Sydney Swans, but there has been some delay. So that has been going on now for over a week and a half. They are struggling. You have to look at the ladder and you see that Sydney is the only team in the competition without a win. Admittedly, they've played one game less than a number of the teams above them and 2 less than Melbourne. But when you look at North Melbourne, they're absolutely flying, aren't they? They've won 4 out of their 5, a healthy percentage, and they're going to start hot favourites today. And there is a parallel between the two teams. Remember, the North Melbourne was in disarray in the Foster's Cup competition. Adelaide thrashed them at Football Park. Wayne Schimmelbusch was sacked. Dennis Pagan came in, and they've been mightily impressive. They were very good against Richmond last week. Wayne Carey has been leading from the front. He's been quite outstanding, Carey, at centre-half forward. He's kicked 20 goals this year, along with Longmire. And Adrian McAdam, what a debut for him last week, coming in for Crocker and booting 7. So the signs are very good at the moment for North Melbourne. Not much between them as far as the record's concerned. 122 matches over a long period of time they've played one another. North Melbourne's won 60, Sydney 62, and the greatest winning margin 140 for the Kangaroos and 92 for Sydney. Working with me today, Ross Glendinning and Peter McKenna. Welcome, gentlemen. And a good sign for Sydney. They look to have a better team in on paper today.
Probably the best side they've had in all year, Ross, on paper. But your old side, the surprise packers of the season.
Yes, they've really come home with a real thrash actually, North. I'm very pleased to see that they have actually lifted their rating. That goal-to-goal line very good, although Martin a little unsteady last week. Glenn Archer ended up going back to that full-back area, but Longmire carrying that forward line very good, and German back into the side.
We said that probably Sydney's best side on paper for the year. Bays on Carey. That'll be a terrific clash at centre half back there. And you see coming into the side, Kapler, a good running player, Tunbridge in the ruck, Begovic left, Mitten Connell at full forward will make a huge difference to the Swans.
Peter McKenna and Ross Glendinning, looking at the teams. Great news for fans in Sydney. From next weekend, these Sydney home matches will be televised live in the metropolitan area, commencing on May 9, Sydney against Carlton. So that's terrific news, but don't forget to get along to the SCG and support the Swans if you can. A Heart Week commences tomorrow right around Australia, hence the badge today. Hope you can support a very worthy cause. We'll take a break, back with the opening bounce after this. Welcome back to Princes Park. As I said at the start of the program, a warm day in Melbourne, expected top 22. Well, it's already 25 degrees, no breeze at all and no goal advantage, and the ground, as you'd expect on a day like today, in excellent condition. You'd expect a high-scoring match. Wayne Carey leading North Melbourne. He's had a terrific start to the year. Michael Martin playing in his 100th game today at fullback. And Peter and Ross, it's pretty hard to tip against North Melbourne.
It is, Bruce, on their form. They have been very good in these last 3 or 4 weeks, and a real turnaround. But Sydney have something to go for today, Bruce, if they've got any spirit or fight in them just to lift their rating. Not necessarily good enough to win, though, I don't think, Bruce.
I'm going for North Melbourne too, Ross, but I think the Swans will serve it up to them. As we said earlier, the best side they've had for the year on paper. And Bays, I'm looking forward to Mark Bays, Ross. Now, just look down. Yes, he's going to line up on Wayne Carey. What a great clash that'll be.
Yeah, good selection, that.
Murray Bird and Grant Vernon, the two umpires. Tunbridge in the ruck against Tashenko. This time last year, Tunbridge was the form big man in the competition. And Tunbridge goes in against Ashenko. Dale Lewis, Troy Luff. Taken by North Melbourne. Laidley out of the centre, ex-West Coast. There's a couple of those playing on both teams today. And the mark taken by Dean McRae, ex-Kangaroo.
That's right. He's got a lot to prove today. To half forward, oh, good mark. Going back with the flight of the ball, Glenn Archer. He played for North Melbourne. He played at fullback, actually, last week. Now the ball punched away by Hutton. There's Kaplan back in the side. They'll appreciate his running ability. There's Tunbridge getting it to Brunton, a real goer. Neil Brunton to the half-forward line. Michael Martin out in front. That's a good mark. Well, free kick in the finish. And what's happening? As the umpire calls play on. Yes, he's playing the advantage, and racing away with it is Jose Romero.
From centre wing, kick up towards half-forward. Ashenko got rid of Hutton and took the mark. So Ashenko from about 60 metres out. Ashenko's centering kick. McAdam in the front spot. Begovic with him. Free kick to McAdam. One of three brothers to have played at this level. Greg McAdam originally and Gilbert. They both played a lot of footy in South Australia. And free kick against Begovic. And off camera, you can't see him, but not far from us in the grandstand is Ron Barassi looking on and taking some notes. The man who is expected to be announced as Sydney Swans coach. McAdam, drop punt, good kick, a goal. Well, Roscoe, he's had a dream start to his AFL career.
Yes, no better you would see though, Bruce. He's got some talent, this boy, and if he can complement John Longmire up there and also help assist Carey further down the ground, then he'll be a very good player for the Kangaroos in years to come. But Ashenko starting well there. Good strong mark in front of Tunbridge. And a good driving kick from that play, and a finish there by McAdam.
Yes, Adrian McAdam, the brother of Gilbert, the St Kilda star. Centre of the ground, Anthony Stevens trying to crush his way through the pack. Scott Waters, and the umpire has played on the shoulder. It will go to Stevens. Stevens a handball to Anthony Rock. Rock the long kick in towards full forward. Longmire at the front. Bryce at the back to thump it away, and Paul Bryce,
The former
North Melbourne player, and of course Melbourne as well. Forward pocket for North. There's Wayne Swass, who's had a great start to the year. Ashenko and Tunbridge. Tunbridge comes over the back. Tunbridge again goes for the fist away. Here's Scott Waters, the former West Coast Eagle. He went without it. Kelly was there. Now Waters. Waters a handball. Out to Wheeler. Wheeler with the dreadlocks. Off the ground and over the line, way out there at centre wing.
Sun shining brightly at Princes Park. Small but enthusiastic crowd as Tunbridge and Ashenko go together. Two of the strong men in the AFL. Waters has been prominent early. And Tunbridge looking for a free kick with Wheeler putting the tackle on. But it's not going to happen, and it'll be a bounce down again. Top against bottom in this clash, but we saw something similar last week at the MCG, Adelaide and Melbourne, and an upset. That's John Blakey. A fair bit of footy now. Over 140 games coming to North Melbourne this year. Romero's little kick didn't go far. Daniels in the front spot. Bit of a ticky touch with one, but does get it at centre wing. So the ex-Saint from the centre of the ground.
Jason Daniels, normally an awkward looking kick. That's not a bad one to the half forward line. Troy Luff was there to fly for the mark. There's Ashenko. Now it's taken away by Scholl. Onto Allison. Further afield to Big Roberts. This is Mark Roberts, a greatly improved player. Roberts back to Rock. Rock chips it in. The lead is on. McAdam again. Oh, what a sensational debut in AFL football.
He's got clean hands, Pete, hasn't he? Just a couple of times, even last week, the balls looked as if it was going to carry over the top of his outstretched hands. But he's just got a beautiful timing and a nice leap. His hands are very clean. Terrific mark.
Well, we mentioned 7 goals against Richmond last Friday night, and this could be his second from 2 kicks from directly in front. Adrian McAdam. He kicks, and he's gone. 2 goals to Adrian McAdam, and North a great start.
Well, he's stealing the show a bit, Pete, isn't he, away from Longmire? John Longmire's been very quiet, although he has kicked 20 goals for the season. 20 goals, 11 in fact. McAdam really is the player to excite everyone at the moment. But a good build-up too on that half-forward line. Roberts hanging onto the ball long enough to give off to the right option.
Splendid start for North and to McAdam in particular with 2 goals. Rock's handball okay. Roberts went without it. Oh gee, Kepler was ordinary there as Roberts attacks the goal and kicks it right to the goal face, and it bounces through. Is it a goal? Yes. Goal to Mark Roberts. It's his 12th goal for the season. Gee, Kepler's attack on the footy was ordinary, wasn't it? And then nothing at the back.
Bruce here, he had time to get through those 2 players. It was very poor, and there was a handball onto the right. The player was just Stevens here. Some body work by Longmire, and then Carey the leaper. And Longmire did the right thing, just let the ball carry over the line. But too easy, definitely on the half-forward line there for Roberts. Should never have got through.
Well, I echo those thoughts. 2 Swans players there. They really... He should never have got through them, should he, really?
That's exactly right.
In modern-day football, when tackling is one of the great skills of the game, certainly a big improvement over the last couple of decades of football. Tunbridge, it's thumped away for Sydney on that occasion by Werner. Here's Dale Lewis, tapped on by Minton Connell. That's Laidley, a quick kick. McRae back with the flight. Beaten for it by Archer. He desperately wanted that ball. Here's Jason Daniels, centre wing versus Pyman. Daniels races away. Pyman put pressure on. Here's Tunbridge, too tall. Oh, against Ramiro. Under Kepler. Kepler should bomb it in long. He does. He's looking there for Minton Connell and Martin. Oh, a big fly at the back. Now a chance. Oh, Minton Connell went without it. Strooper dives in on it. Quick kick by Strooper. Minton Connell again. Tries a kick in mid-air. North desperately trying to get it out. There's Fairley. Now Laidley. Oh, under pressure. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a kick to Strooper, I would think. Strooper, well, it should have been Strooper's kick.
That's what I thought.
And taking it is Creswell, who was about 40 metres away. Now Creswell, that's intelligent play. Oh, umpire, well done by Laidley to spoil that. Ross Smith gives it across to Swass, and that was a wasted opportunity by the Swans.
Bays versus Carey. Here's Waters. Bouncing ball, eventually sits up. Drop punt towards Luff. Good mark. It's got Wheeler running. Held up, though, by Ushenko. Waters again, who has been prominent. He goes to Strooper with a good pass, and that's the most positive thing we've seen from Sydney today.
Well, that's the value of Scotty Waters too. Just gets the ball and does use it very well, either by hand or by foot, and he was the player that featured in both those passes there. Well played.
Strooper, another X, and had a good season last year for Sydney. He's one of their better players. Leans back on a drop punt, kicks it, gives it a bit of a hook, and hits the post. So bad luck there. David Strooper. Now Ron Barassi, as we mentioned, to the left of the broadcast box, sitting on his lonesome, making some notes, and obviously getting prepared for what would be the toughest job in football at the moment, coaching Sydney.
Yes, I really believe that's the reason he's taken it on too, as we see Scholl receiving from Michael Martin. Carey at the back. Off his hands to Rock. Rock will try and beat Bays. He does with pace. The chip pass, McAdam, and has beaten it now. Just see if Hutton is picking up McAdam
yes, he is,
now.
Yep. Which is an unusual role for him. He's normally a forward.
Quick change, Ross.
Yes.
Begovic now running with Roberts.
Two former West Australians in those positions.
Left forward pocket for North. Tunbridge and Carey did the work. Rock got a quick kick away under pressure. McAdam now out of play. And McAdam's been a surprise packet, hasn't he? Came in for Crocker last week at the MCG on the Friday night. Tunbridge, Brunton, Daniels taps it forward. Rock's handball. Here's Allison. Left foot, good kick. Is that a goal? It is. A freakish goal. Well, the floodgates could open here. I know it's early days, but you get a feeling that North are on a roll at 4 goals to a point.
Yes, particularly when players kick goals like that, Bruce, no doubt. When he's on his wrong side, Rock featuring again, he was almost just trying to centre that ball, but just the way things are going for North, the ball carries through, split the centre. Can't do much wrong, North, at the moment.
So Tunbridge versus Ushenko. That's in. So 24-1 as the kick on the left foot comes out. Daniels, now Luff. That was a good hand pass. Back to Brutton. Brutton all caught. McRae, oh, shouldn't have given it off to Waters then. Kepler from 55 metres. Darren Kepler kicks long and has missed, but that handball, Ross, a wrong option because the man was covered.
Yes, he could have actually, the handball initially, Luff could have come forward rather than going back 2 feet when he took that ball.
Smith bangs her back in for North Melbourne. Geez, a good kick. Scholl takes the mark almost up to centre wing. Former best and fairest of the club. Drop punt to centre half forward. Carey and Bays. Now Pyman to Allison. Allison to full forward. Longmire with a good sit here and a very good mark. Well, you wanted to be on him in the run, so to speak, didn't you? He looked a good chance to take that.
With the Pales in the box seat, Bruce, no question. We get a chance to look at this again. Bryce in front, positive, but Longmire just with the extra advantage of a bit of a run at it and took it cleanly enough to award the mark.
22 years of age, he's played 96 games and kicked 303 goals. He's got a great record, this man. Ex-leading goal kicker, Coleman medalist, kicks his first. And North Melbourne have raced away to lead 30-2. It's 5 goals without a miss.
Yes, the unfortunate thing for Sydney is some of their players are still a little undisciplined in picking up the running play of North Melbourne through that centre, particularly just too strong for the Swans at the moment. And then their marking strength up forward. Carey hasn't taken a mark as yet. However, the other players, McAdam and Longmire, doing well.
So we're back in the centre again. As the raking kick comes down to Archer. And that was kicked by Darren Creswell. Now out wide, that was Allison. Ross Smith. Oh, North are looking good. In towards Longmire, thumped away by Bryce. Here's Kepler tapping it on. He should soccer it. He does. Here's Ramiro. Took a dive. Good umpiring. Not to fall for that. That was very good umpiring.
But just to mention the benches for both sides too. Considine and McGovern for Sydney, and for North Melbourne, Clarkson and German.
Roberts does battle. Kick by Kelly. Didn't go far. Rock has been busy to fall forward. Hutton at the back. Oh, Carey should goal here. Around the body. He does. Well, it's hard not to be critical here. Another mistake at the back by Sydney, and Carey swooped on it to goal.
Yeah, it's a pertinent point there, Bruce. It is critical. It's easy to be critical from here, but just watch this. You've just got, if you're going to come through like that, Johnny, you've got to punch strongly right away from the danger zone or take the mark. Have confidence to take the mark, but most of the Sydney players are not within that confident frame of mind.
Well, what an onslaught. 6 goals to 2 points. As we see Dean McRae going without it. Kick there by Brunton to the wide open spaces. This is Jason Daniels waiting for the bounce. Holding the man. Free kick to Daniels on centre wing. Well, an unfortunate start for the Swans. They've been blitzed early. There's Minton Connell. I think he's been moved to centre half forward. There's that holding the man. It is not. Creswell was there. Now Pyman was grabbed. Umpire calling play on here. Daniels to Kelly. Kelly a quick kick. They're letting it go. The umps. Archer the flyer. There's Minton Connell. Taken away by Anthony Stevens. A quick kick to centre wing. And they race. Oh, he's... I think Brett Allison's injured here. He might have, and so is Archer.
Watch this clash here. Archer and Ramiro. Ramiro and those two players clashing heavily. Oh, gee whiz. Yeah,
well, he went down hard, both of them, as you can see. And Allison's dragging a leg, and Ramiro might be going off, and Archer's looks very, very groggy. Half forward, Carey went without it. Oh, danger here. Anthony Rock to Longmire. Punched away by Bryce was good play. They race in after it. Bays is there. Taken away by Longmire again. He taps it on. Here's McAdam. Oh, quick hands to Stevens. Stevens chips it back. Oh, great play, Stevens to Longmire.
But just an interesting observation there with Bryce's spoil, which is a very strong one. He spoiled back towards centre half forward. He could have perhaps come, he had time to spoil out to the boundary line to the more defensive area. They're the little things that just can make a bit of difference to your plays. We see Peter German warming up.
And Archer about to come off. Now Johnny Longmire for goal number 2. Kicks and sneaks it in for a goal. Well, this is a goal blitz. 7 goals straight. Sydney 2 points.
And the player coming off for Sydney, with German coming on for Archer, is Wheeler's coming off and McGovern is on. As we see that clash again between Ramiro and Archer. Archer coming off second best, although it looked as if Ramiro was going to, but he's up and okay.
Back in the centre, 42-2. Kelly ducked his head, gets a free kick. It was a high tackle.
Interesting, he's a renowned tagger, Kelly, but he's been picked up by John Blakey.
In the heart of the centre square. Stroop of the target. Front man in the North Melbourne, Ross Smith. The other number 15. Struggled a bit in the last year and a half, but he's been a great player and has started this season very well. Thumped away there by Begovic. Waters, who's certainly been the most productive of the Sydney players to date. Taken there by McGovern. Daniels under pressure. Back to McGovern. Had the run of it. Scholl dropped it and got a free kick. Didn't have the footy when he was tagged. Clever field there by Scholl. He had an understanding of what was happening around him. Goes to Carey. Bayes gives him a shove. Free kick, Carey. Longmire now leads. Carey goes to him. Longmire half volley was very good. Turns round, goes, bang, and McAdam.
To the pace of McAdam there, Bruce, to make up the ground. The ball was almost looking like it was going to carry away from him. But those short steps of his to make up the ground, terrific. And Archer's now back on the ground and German off. So obviously he's okay.
Well, Geelong fans will be getting nervous, I reckon. That 37-17's in danger. McAdam from the goal square. Bang. Well, I did say that tongue-in-cheek, but it's 8 goals without a miss, and we've got 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Yes, and it certainly looks like a cakewalk at the moment. However, Sydney, they must just lift man up. It's the least they can do is just pick up a player each and just try and beat that player one out and not be lack discipline to do that.
Well, the first thing I'd do is get Hutton down the forward line, because he is a full forward. (40) 48-2 as we see McGovern. Oh, gee, they've lost it again as the kick comes in towards half forward. Sydney, that was McRae trying to get it away. He does eventually, out to the wide open spaces and over the line. The ball on centre wing, but what a blitz of goals this has been. North Melbourne playing with supreme confidence. 8 goals straight. Perfect weather conditions here in Melbourne. Schenko, oh, there's Stevens coming over the top. Taken away by Scott Waters, who's trying very hard. To the half-forward line. Up they go. Good mark, Lewis. Lewis over the top to Luff. Oh, Luff has tripped over. Then he taps it on. Struper. Oh, good tackling by North Melbourne. This is fairly, and North Melbourne committed. They got 3 and 4 around the ball every time. Big Mark Roberts on the right foot. Look at that kick to McAdam. Beautiful lead. He's a good player, McAdam.
When the ball's going down like that, but it certainly makes a big difference. But John Hutton again just lacking coordinate to read the play and how the ball's going to come. He was about 15 metres behind.
Since when is he going to make a backman when he's been a full forward all his life, Ross? I mean, wouldn't you whack him down the other end and open up the forward line? Just try something. Here's McAdam going for goal number 4. Not a bad kick. Touched on the line. And that is their first behind. 8-1 plays 2 points. I mean, you could always move Ross. I think you'd be Minton kind of up the ground.
Could do that, yes.
Bryce to bring her back in. Just a good kick, wasn't it, by McAdam? Right on 50. And he's dumped it right there. Now Bryce looking for some options. And that also is a splendid kick for distance. Right down the centre. Tunbridge's target. Pyman held up by McGovern. Ramiro with some pace, but got a bad bounce in the end, was unlucky, committed himself. Quick kick away by Brunton. Centre wing, and free kick to Smith against Strooper. Sydney's been renowned for having very bad quarters this year. Hawthorn kicked 10 against them and won, Essendon 9 and Fitzroy 11 in separate quarters in their matches. And is this number 9 for North? No. Hutton, Mark paid, or was it paid?
Yeah, I think he has paid it actually, Bruce.
McAdam didn't think it was marked, did he?
Hutton goes short and finds Begovic. Awkward looking kick, but effective to Waters. Some Western Australians combining here. Now an ex-South Australian taken out of it, Kapler by Schwass. Roberts. Schwass, well played. Now he's got a chance from here. Goes for it. Bang! And puts it through. A thumping goal.
Yes, he is a form player of North Melbourne. He's the catalyst through the centre of the ground for them. And here, just a slight fumble there by the Sydney Swans. Kapler, and Schwass just takes full toll. That was a great kick, as Bruce said. Great distance and accuracy.
Well, Bruce McAvaney talked about goal-kicking records. They've kicked 9, and there's plenty of time left in 8 minutes left in this quarter. How many are they going to kick? There's Daniels trying to get a boot to it. And in a season that it will be very, very even, percentage most important. If North can have a thumping win in the long run, that percentage can make a big difference. Centre wing. Laidley was held when he didn't have it. Has to be a free kick to Dean Laidley.
Another one of the ex-Western Australians playing here today. To Allison on the run. In a very good position to kick it to McAdam. Well played that time by Hutton. Allison gets another go. Tackle on him okay. Play on called. Umpires continuing to let it go, which is great. And Kelly and McAdam, it's out of play. The captain, best and fairest at the club last year. Rock, free kick going against Tunbridge. To Ashenko hanging on. Awkward style Ashenko, but effective kick there. Longmire in the middle. McAdam for a 4th goal. He's got it. That's number 10.
And Bruce, that's exactly how he kicked a couple of goals last Friday night. Just sat behind the pack, allowed his man to go in the contest. Just see this again. Just sat down, Hutton and Bryce up. McAdam stayed down on the ground, which a forward can afford to do in that situation. And he kicked his 5th very easily. Well, 4th, I should say, very easily.
I was going to say, Peter, it's your worst nightmare come true, isn't it? 10-1 to 2 points.
Yeah, I really thought they'd be very, very competitive today with the side they had on paper, but they're not a team yet. They're a lot of individuals. Now, that was Creswell getting it out to Kapler. Kapler, the long bomb, and nothing going right for the Swans. He's missed. So there's Darren Kapler, formerly Fitzroy. Ross Smith about to be 10-1. Look at that scoreboard, still with 6.5 minutes of play to go till quarter time. Ashenko, Archer, a class mark. What a top mark that was. Now he's off. He brings it wide to the space. Racing after it is Creswell. He's beaten to it by Carey. Carey, the chip pass. Bryce did well. Longmire! I thought Bryce had done well to get front position, but Longmire used his body superbly.
Yes, and obviously a good kick. It was a bit hard to see from here, Pete, but obviously to the correct side of Longmire, the right-hand side, not just directly at the 2 players, but just sufficiently to the right to give Longmire a slight advantage.
John Longmire for goal number 3. Oh, hit the post. That would have been goal number 11 for the term. Well, what a blitz, Bruce.
Say that again, Peter. 62 to 3. And Bryce to bang it back in. Poor old Sydney. They've sunk about as low as you could get, you reckon. Allison. It's out when he kicked it. And it'll be a throw in at left half forward for North Melbourne. And just think that 7 or 8 weeks ago, North was in a similar position to Sydney. They were thumped by Adelaide. Look at this, 50-26 the kicks. I was at Football Park that night, and you reckon this team was dead and buried before the season had started. Now they're on top of the ladder, and they lead by 10 goals at this stage. Rock running it out. So it can turn around, but maybe we can't have 2 miracles in 1 year.
Well, the ball halfway between centre wing and half forward. There's a Schenker with the left hand trying to get it down to Rock. Ramiro's in after it. So's Brunton, Ramiro, and the umpire will have to bounce this one. 10 goals to North Melbourne. The Swans 3 points. And the hit-outs 8-6. Oh, well, just shows how important hit-outs are. Don Scott. I must remind Don Scott about that one, the former Hawthorn champion. 8-4, and look at the scoreboard. And here's a free kick going North's way. And it will go not to Swass, it'll go to Blakey. Swass handed it over. John Blakey, former Fitzroy utility player. Beautiful kick in towards full forward. Longmire and Carey. And taken by Paul Bryce. He's getting the hoots of the North Melbourne supporters, being a past player of the North Melbourne Footy Club.
He's going to get plenty of work today too, Peter. He already has. McRae, another one from North Melbourne. Kick into the centre square. Chance for Brunton. Well played, Archie's been impressive. And Stevens with a long, awkward kick right to the square. Carey, strong hands. Longmire, bang, misses. So the North Melbourne percentages not so good in the last few minutes as they go to 10-3 to 3 points.
Just doing it too easily, Bruce, too. I mean, this is the disappointing part from the Swans' point of view. They just are not prepared to even pick up a play. Just man up. There's nothing hard about that.
Bryce, wobbly one. Roberts should take it on his chest. He does.
But that was no pressure again.
Roberts bangs it back in 2-4 forward. Longmire's there. Schwass was at the back. Here's Longmire. Tried to break a couple of tackles. Kelly. Well, getting in his road was Begovic. Ooh. Free kick, Kelly, a bit lucky.
Oh, you can say that again. He ducked the head down there, Paul Kelly. The North players weren't happy. Centre wing. Oh, geez, good overhead, Lewis.
Played the push, the
push in the back.
Yep.
To Carey. And is that 50?
No, it came from his own
No, it was his own teammate, was it? Wayne Carey from 70 metres. Centres the ball. Your big men there. Ashenko at the back. No mark. Taken away by Tunbridge. Good play on to Bryce. Bryce comes back into trouble. But gets away with it on the right foot to the half-back line. The loose ball is with Allison. On to Scholl. Back to Allison. Now to Blakey. Blakey the long bomb. McAdam. No mark. Spoiled. Desperation there by Bryce to thump it through for a behind.
64 to 3. Gee, Bryce, you reckon he's played 4 quarters already? He's puffing and panting. He's had some work to do. Here's Hutton. Roberts again in the box seat. Werner was at the back. This man's been impressive early, Archer. Oh, well played, McAdam. You give him a chance from here. He's so mercurial. Look at that. Oh, yes, sirree. Oh, can he play? 11-4 to 3 points.
Mercurial's pretty well right description there, Bruce, because for a player to turn up, Werner going for the fly, Archer, very good kick. Hutton was still miles away, but just to back himself from there, 2 steps and bang. To use one of your phrases there, Bruce, just banged it through almost too easily.
He's a bit special, that boy, isn't he? Oh.
Well, 70 to 3, and Adrian McAdam has kicked 5. Oh, here's Dale Lewis, a chance for the Swans' first goal on the left foot. He kicks. And I think that's it. Yes. Well done, the Swans. And Dale Lewis has kicked their first. 11-4 to 1-3, and there is probably the coach next week. Probably on Monday it'll be announced. The future coach of the Sydney Swans, and he's got a huge job out after looking at this performance.
I was going to say, he didn't look that old when he came into the ground, did he?
I dare say he's taking a few foolscap pages of notes there.
That Mo has gone greyer.
Well, Lewis has spent most of his time in this first quarter down on the forward line. It might be better off seeing him further up in the centre of the ground.
70-9. Let's hope Sydney can build on that. Blakey's had 3 kicks in about a minute. McAdam! Oh! What a mark!
What about that, Ross?
Yeah, just watch this mark. I just hope he doesn't get too overconfident. He just walk back, spinning the ball around on his finger there. However, he's done very, very well. Still a lot of footy ahead of him. That's terrific, though.
Probably a bit of a nervous sort of a trait, though, Ross. I don't think it'll be Lear Rising.
Well, he's kicked 5. He kicked 7 in his debut last week. He's a breath of fresh air. Bang.
I think he's missed.
He has. Well, you wouldn't read about that after what we've seen, because the other behind he kicked was a fantastic kick from the pocket.
Yes. Well, we raved last night, Bruce, didn't we, about Dunstall kicking 5 1/4 against the Crows. This is as special today.
How many is he going to kick?
Well,
it might beat one of your records, Pete.
What did you get? 16 one day, Pete, didn't you?
Well, 16. The best league record is what? 18.
As if you didn't know, Peter. Here's Waters from the centre square. Minton Connell caught out of position. Did a very good job there. Now Strooper to Creswell, who didn't take it cleanly. Bouncing ball fairly. And was he out of play? To be a throw in.
Bruce, just looking at the footy record here, showing the most goals kicked by a North player against Sydney is 11 by Jock Spencer.
Great full forward in the 50s, Jock Spencer.
Inside the last minute, in what's been a remarkable opening quarter. Ramiro, Archer, still Archer. Still Archer. Now they tuck it underneath.
Gee, Archer's been impressive, hasn't he, Bruce?
Well, considering he copped the knock and went off. And there is some spirit in this game. All Werner and Scholl. Free kick's been paid to Laidley.
So you get some players to be very careful here. It's just unnecessary stuff.
Well, especially if you're a North Melbourne man too, Ross. They've got Footscray and Adelaide to come. You wouldn't want to miss a game.
Play the footy.
Inside the last 10 seconds. Here's Allison. Still Allison. Goes for it. Will time beat North kicking another one. Luff takes the mark and the siren sounds. Well, it's a quarter you won't forget in a hurry. That's for sure. North lead at quarter time. 11-5 to 1-3. Welcome back to Princes Park. McAdam has 5 and Longmire 2 in this avalanche for North Melbourne. They lead at quarter time over Sydney. 11-5, 71 to 139. At the MCG today, Essendon 6-5, 41. Geelong 5-5, 35. The Bombers kicked the first 3 goals in the match. Salmon has 3 for the Bombers. And Gary Ablett, no doubt playing at full forward. Brownless injured, has 4 goals. So the 2 big stars are starring there in Salmon and Ablett. Dennis Pagan. Well, what a dream start. He's had to wait a long time to coach a league football club. He had a tremendous record at under-19 and reserves level. And he's having a dream start here with North Melbourne. Grant Thomas with him. Did a lot of coaching at Warrnambool after playing for a number of league clubs here. And
Damien Burke there too, the ruck coach.
And Ron Barassi, who, as we've already talked about, seems certain to take on the Sydney coaching job early this week. As we look at the stats, Ross, and there's no surprise there.
No, not at all, really, Bruce. Although, as we mentioned, the hit-outs are favouring Sydney, but that's just shows you, as Peter McKenna said, that it's not so much who wins the tap, but where the ball goes and who takes the ball away, whether it be from the centre bounce or a bounce around the ground or a boundary throw-in. And centre break, Sydney getting the ball away, according to those stats, 6 times, but they haven't capitalised at all.
Grant Vernon holds it aloft. Start of the second term at Princes Park. Peter, you've got your way. Hutton's in the goal square at the right end as far as you're concerned.
Oh, they had to...
Troy Luff's down there picking up McAdam.
Well, he's a full forward or nothing, really, John Hutton. His game is totally suited to that quick lead, isn't it, Ross?
Yes, it is, yep.
So let's hope Sydney can regroup here and salvage something from what has been a bit of a wreck in the first term. Laidley caught. Strooper. Good one to Kaplan. Now he's on his right side and goes bang with a high drop punt. Minton Connor, oh, nearly a great mark because he was out of position and forced through for a behind.
Yes, he should never have got that, but it was a great effort to even make an attempted mark there, and he held it.
Now, Ross Smith, beautiful kick out. Archer, very, very impressive in that first term. To centre wing, a poor kick. Now, this is Ed Considine, the former Bomber. Former Essendon player on the ground to half forward, almost a mark to Mickey Martin, but he copped it high. And Michael Martin, that tough fullback, gives it across to Wayne Swass. Oh, beautifully smothered by Dean McRae. Hutton went in, now McRae and Allison. It'll be a bounce and half forward for the Swans. And Ross, it's important they get a couple of quick goals for the confidence level.
Oh yes, and just for their own self-esteem, Pete, they've just got to do something.
Fairly, and Stroop at the back. Hutton off his knee in the end. Here's Scholl running it to the boundary line and getting a free kick against Hutton. It's just those little things, Ross, because Scholl was not going to go anywhere with the footy. He was going to go out of bounds, and Hutton gave away what was a senseless free kick.
Yeah, Werner off and Begovic back on for the Swans.
Tunbridge went early. Handball there by Considine. Missed the target, but a free kick. Played nearly 50 games at Essendon. McGovern. Centering kick. Nice looking kick. Good stretch by Lewis. Unable to take it. Rock, who had a very good opening quarter, bangs it in the Carey direction. Oh, great mark by Luff at the back. A screamer. Short into the centre. McGovern, Brunton this one. Back to Luff. The wrong option, I feel. Brunton under pressure. Roberts will try and take it off him. Now Stevens goes bang. Longmire versus Bryce. It's been a good duel so far. Longmire in the front spot. Rock was roving, unable to take it. Oh, clever play by Pyman, but the kick. Here's McAdam. And well done, Carey.
Yeah, great play, Carey.
Yeah,
he did the team thing, didn't he?
Off the ball, and a good tap out too from Longmire. Did the ball forward to a couple of his teammates there. And Pyman, the player that pushed that ball forward. And there's that little shepherd on Bays by Carey. Perfectly legal.
McAdam for goal number 6 from the square. Puts it through. Well, it's a remarkable start. I wonder if the historians could tell us. If somebody kicked 7 and 6 like this man has in their opening games to league footy. I'm sure they have, Coleman and those guys in the old days, but this is a great start, isn't it?
Yes, well, Cuthbertson had a good start that year. And tapered off. Let's hope that he doesn't, McGavin I'm talking about, doesn't taper off as Cuthbertson has. Certainly a very exciting prospect.
Werner on the ground, and it looks to be a loose man in defence as we see Ed Considine kicking to the half-forward line. So the Swans getting desperate when you've got to have a loose man down there, unless he's going up now to pick up a man. The ball at half-forward with Laidley. Laidley to Archer. Archer to Allison, or not a lot of pressure. Allison kicks it straight to half forward, and Ed Considine back to take it. Onto his former Essendon teammate. Oh, that. Fair dinkum. That shouldn't have been a free kick to Rock. That is a free kick to Bryce. The advantage paid to Luff. Werner couldn't believe that free kick before. Kapler out to Lewis. Lewis is trying hard. Centre of the ground, Scott Waters. Oh, he's surrounded by North players. He was off. Back to Tunbridge. Tunbridge trying to run away with it. He does so and brings it out towards Strooper. He's got it. Strooper over the top. Here's a chance for Kapler. From 50 metres, Darren Kapler, the sweeping kick. Oh, good mark. Or a free kick, whatever you like. The Mick Martin playing in front.
In his 100th game, he's won the best and fairest twice at North Melbourne. And high drop punt. Gets good distance too, right out to half-back. Considine, who's had some touches since coming on. Centering kick. Lewis shrugs a tackle. Goes bang from 50 metres. Minton Connell, Archer, good mark.
Oh. He can play, this kid.
Sure can. He's been very impressive, hasn't he? Goes to Scholl, nice mark. In front of Hutton. He held his ground really well there, Scholl. Daniels.
That's nearly
I think in his defence he was making sure,
that's right, go
run
across the mark.
Centre wing, Carey, big leap. Bays with him. Schwass. Handball was robbed by Waters. Let's see if he can set something up. Not a bad kick by Waters, a centering kick. Good spoil though, Smith. And here's a chance, Strooper. The tackle was excellent. Off the ground, Minton Connell. And out of play.
Ross, they've definitely improved their tackling, North Melbourne.
Yes, well, Alan Joyce said after the game last night, Pete, that what he wanted from Hawthorn was to improve their tackling, which in turn improved their play because they're more committed to get to the footy and get to the man.
Forward pocket for the Swans. They desperately need a couple of goals. Kelly goes to ground, but the umpire will bounce. Scoreboard, 12 goals, 5 to North Melbourne. The Swans 1-4. Now the bounce about 25 metres out from the Swans' goal. Strooper and Fairley shuffled out there by Waters. There's the kick at goal by Lewis across the faces of the market. It is to Minton Connell. So Simon Minton Connell has taken the mark. He will be brought round on a pretty acute angle, I would think.
Yes, he should be fairly familiar with this territory down there, but a good effort there. Perhaps should have even been given a free kick if he didn't take the mark.
Now Simon Minton Connell, will he race out to the right? Laidley's there waiting for him. Will he open up the goals? I think he might. Yes, out he comes. Opens it up. Bangs away a goal, and I think his goal he has. So Simon Minton Connell kicks his first and the Swans second. They still trail by 61 points.
Well, the Swans have definitely lifted their work rate, Pete. There's more numbers around the footy. And Lewis, the player here, sending that ball forward. It was a good effort by Minton Connell here, not only to take the footy, but to keep Martin at bay, who I thought would have given away a free kick, as I mentioned, if Minton Connell hadn't have taken that mark.
(77-16), change of footy. Not happy with it, the umpires. I think one of the players might have pointed it out. Grant Vernon bringing it over. So as Ross said, a better start here for Sydney. More numbers around the football. Working harder. Waters with 5 kicks and 7 handballs. Lewis getting amongst the action. And Considine's had a few touches since coming on. 12-5-2-4. Tunbridge sets himself in the ruck. Ashenko went pretty early. Tunbridge just got the tap. Kelly gets a free kick in the centre square. Young man with the responsibility of captaining Sydney. He has to come back over the mark. Waters obviously disappointed, making a long lead at half forward. Tunbridge making some moves in the centre square, orchestrating some movement up forward. Now Kelly swings it to the left half forward flank. And Archer again, who's been outstanding. Really played brilliantly so far. Goes over to Ross Smith. Neat as usual, Smith. Goes up to centre wing. Carey in the front spot. Here's Wheeler back off the interchange bench. Kick out wide to Daniels. He should sit for him. Did it cleverly. Now he should get on to Lewis in a hurry. Effective kick to Lewis at half forward. Minton Connell in the square. Now Hutton provides a lead. Lewis is going to go to Hutton. And Hutton's got it. Rock unable to cut it off. So again, a better build-up by Sydney.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. That is their only option.
Yep, see this again. Hutton, who's a good lead. He's reasonably quick over the first few. And Scholl too late to do anything about that.
Kicked over 40 goals at Brisbane last year. Surprisingly let go by the Bears. That's a good-looking kick. It's a goal. That's better.
Yeah, it is, Bruce. That's much better. A bit more purposeful and some sort of system up front there.
And they could have a tandem full forward. They've got a leading full forward, and they could have Simon Minton Connell to do the flying up there, Ross.
Yes, they could. And Lewis into the game a bit more at the moment. With his sort of class, it does make a difference to this team.
So back in the centre, that looks a little bit better. 12-5 to 3-4. Another couple of quick ones that certainly lift their confidence. Centre of the ground. Lewis is working his heart out there. He's still going. All socket off the ground and kicking in danger, the umpire's paid there. And Lewis deserved to get that kick. He worked really hard for it. Now he gives it off to Bays, who's doing pretty well on Carey, actually. Bays, now Minton, Connell and Hutton. Yes, Hutton again. Well, there's something starting to happen for them up forward.
It's a good penetrating kick there too from Mark Bays, which is always his value. And Hutton did well there, surrounded by 3 North players initially. Just got rid of fairly in a fair fashion. And a second shot at goal for him.
Well, they had him down the back line on McAdam early. I didn't like that right from the start, but here's his chance for goal number 2, John Hutton. Oh, look at that. Right through the middle. So the Swans supporters got something to cheer about now. 4-4 to 12-5.
Yes, I'm interested to see what Dennis Pagan would have to say. This sort of continues the fashion is this quarter. It's such a great start by North in that first quarter, kicking 11-5. They just added the 1 goal this quarter. Tempo just dropped off a bit from their point of view, but it's full credit to the Swans for fighting back.
(77-28). Much better effort by Sydney in the second term. Kapler. Daniels. Rock gets a free kick. Got a high tackle against Creswell. He's had 9 kicks now, Rock. Roberts on a lead at centre wing. Takes it against Considine. Chips it over towards Ramiro. Wheeler with him. Ramiro and Wheeler. No free kick. Wheeler able to take it off Ramiro. Nice pass to Kapler. Kapler always penetrating on that left foot towards the 50-metre line, and that's a good mark. Fairly running back, one of the veterans for North Melbourne. Unsung hero. Here's Rock, kick number 10 from the centre square. Nice looking kick towards Carey. Bays with him. As Peter said, it's been a pretty good duel. Ramiro goes towards McAdam. Luff with him and a good mark. Between them, they've taken the 2 big marks of the match, and Luff's away now at full-back. Waters on a lead at centre wing. Will it sit for him? It does. He could see Daniels, who fell over, but there's time here to set it up. Back to Waters, and now Waters to attack.
Much better play by the Swans. Oh, free kick, yes. Good umpiring against Fairley. He copped Strooper far too high then. David Strooper and way out at half forward. The lead is on to the space, and a mark Lewis, and I've been very impressed with Lewis, Ross.
Yes, his work rate has lifted a lot, even though he's playing with the majority of his game so far put in that forward line. He's a bit of class when he gets the footy. He's a beautiful left foot kick. He's had something like 5 and 4, which is a pretty good result.
Very strong over. That mark was on the chest, of course, but he is very strong overhead, Dale Lewis. And if they kick another one here, it would be their 5th to be a very good quarter. Dale Lewis kicks, swings it in. Yes, another one of the Swans. Well done. Lewis has kicked 2. And the scoreboard looks a lot better. 12-5 to 5-4.
Yes, and the other player who's featuring for the Swans around the ground is Scotty Waters, who was the player that set that play for Lewis on this wing, the members' wing, just with some clean ball handling. And Lewis, a good finish with his quality foot disposal skills.
Sydney making a run here, 12-5, 5-4. They're a long way back, but they've certainly made an inroad. And they've kicked 5 of the last 6 goals of this match. So it's been a terrific mini comeback, you'd say, at this stage. Whether they can build on it remains to be seen. Laidley's kick towards half forward. Nice mark by Bryce to Bays. It's usually a beautiful kick. That one was to space.
No one leading.
And in the end, it was a good option and a pretty good result. Getting it about 60 metres down the line. So North Melbourne being challenged here. I know they lead by 7 goals, but Sydney are on top for the moment, and a couple of quick ones. And suddenly, you've got a real contest. Ashenko had it smothered off the boot. And in the second quarter, Roscoe, there's a big discrepancy there.
Yes, there is.
With North 15-6 behind in handballs. There's Waters and Pyman.
Well, that's basically, Bruce, because the Swans players have been prepared to run a bit more and assist their teammates, so there's been an option for the player to give either side of him with handball.
Half forward, Sydney attacking.
Schenko and Tunbridge. Umpire calls play on. No, he doesn't. He's now found a free kick out of that to Tunbridge. So Brad Tunbridge has got to move it quickly. He brings it in towards full forward. Hutton and Minton Connell. Great mark at the back. Well,
It was a good jump, wasn't it, Pete?
well, he's a talented player. Hutton in front, goes early, and good mark.
It was a very good mark. Got a bit of a lift there. Pyman off for North and German on.
Simon Minton Connell for goal, his personal goal number 2, and the Swans 6th. Major turnaround in this game. Simon Minton Connell from directly in front, kicks and puts it through. Much better by the Swans. They've lifted 6-4 to 12-5.
Yes, and that should just show them that if they do persist and get themselves moving, think about their footy, use the ball correctly when they work hard to get it, which is always something that a lot of players just don't take enough care with. They do work so hard to get the footy, and to use it correctly in disposing of it just makes things so much more easy for yourself and your teammates.
77-40, Minton Connell with 2 goals. Just looked at the flags, Peter and Ross, around the ground. I wonder if there was a gale blowing to the right.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
So many goals down that end, but no, it's because Sydney has lifted. And they've done a terrific job in this term after North blew them away early. Free kick to Wheeler.
No, I think it's Bryce.
To Bryce, sorry, yep. So Bryce from centre wing. Neat drop punt to centre half forward. Lewis in the front spot. Oh, great mark. A really good stretch. It's a very good kick normally, and you'd say he'd have some chance from here.
I'd give him a good chance, Bruce, as you see this mark again in front. Sport coming from Archer from the front there, but not good enough.
He is one of the best overhead marks in the competition, Ross, for his size.
2 goals, and will kick from about 50 metres, maybe just beyond it. Soon kick a terrific goal earlier on. Doesn't come right up, but does he need to? It's a good kick. Has it gone through? Another one. No. Yes. 3 to Lewis and 7 to Sydney. It's
You wouldn't
unbelievable.
believe this, would you?
And Wayne Swaff's been taken off the ground. Dean McRae's had him for this quarter, and Alistair Clarkson coming on.
Well, what a strange old game this has been.
We were talking about records. Now here they go again. Paul Kelly to half forward. The numbers are there for North. Oh, loose ball. Who's going to end up with it? Laidley, free kick, Swans. Oh, boy.
And Strooper.
Well, Strooper's kick, and if they kick another one, it would be their 8th, and they'd only be 4 goals behind. I wouldn't believe this. What a funny old game, football.
We'll have to swab them, as we often say.
Well, he didn't look to be much in the free kick, by the way. I think he was very lucky to get it. David Strooper, but when you're on a roll, things go your way. Strooper lays back. Oh, it's another one right through the middle of the Swans. Strooper, David Strooper has kicked his first, but look at that scoreboard, 8-4 to 12-5. And Bruce, you can't believe this, can you?
Well, it was 11-5 to 1-3 at quarter time. It's great to see.
And it certainly is meant to be condescending in this comment, but you wouldn't have given them 2 bob in the first quarter.
No.
I mean, they really were very poor. Just goes to show you can turn things around if you want to.
Remarkable scenes here at Princes Park when you look at the board. 12-5 to 8-4, and suddenly the next goal becomes important. North Melbourne would want to get it, because Sydney, if they could get within 2 or 3 at half-time, they would sniff a big chance here. Daniels. Some urgency, isn't there, surrounding the Swans?
Oh.
Bad kick. Now, will Stevens make them pay? It's a good kick, a beautiful pass to Ashenko.
That's that poor kicking loss of Jason Daniels.
They're those little mistakes where the ball goes back to the opposition, where you really should maintain possession, and you have a shot at goal.
Ashenko from about 30 metres out. Drop punt. And he's put it through. His first. And boy, did North Melbourne need that at 13-5 to 8-4.
Well, Ashenko's always liked a shot at goal. And here's his left foot kick from Daniels, just not good enough. Not enough carry. And it was a lovely kick as called there from Stevens to find Ashenko on the lead. And he fancies himself as a forward, Ashenko.
Well, actually, with Daniels' kick, he had two loose men at the back if he could have cleared the North Melbourne player. That's right. And might have been eventuated in the goal. Now, here's Considine getting in a hand pass. Kelly, where he runs hard at the ball. Now Bays. Lying over the ball for North Melbourne was Blakey. And the umpire to come in and bounce at half forward for North. Amazing turn around the game, but still when you look at the scoreboard, they trailed by 5-1. Just gave such a big start. Tapped down by Roberts, gets Keary. Oh, smothered off the boot. That was good play. Well done by Mark Bays. On to Daniels. Oh, wobbly kick by Daniels to the half forward line. Hutton tried to thump it down. Here's Ross Smith. Smith on the left foot. Loose men everywhere for North Melbourne here. Allison. Keary. Wayne Keary, the long kick. In towards full forward. Ashenko at the front. McAdam. Dragged the ground. Thumped away by Bays. Now big Ashenko. He's caught with the ball. They race hard at it. Wheeler goes to ground. There's Considine. Further afield is McGovern. And Considine again clears the ball to the centre of the ground, but Ross Smith marks.
Ramiro running very wide for Smith. It's a high one. And Ramiro takes the mark.
Well, he should never have taken the mark. There should have been a swirl coming from Kapler. And McAdam was just down. It's a bit of a high tackle there from Wheeler. Just caught him around the chin area.
Ramiro is going to kick from 50 metres. Tries a torpedo. McAdam, well, in the front spot at the right time.
Yes, a real flutter there from Jose Ramiro, but there's always going to be someone forward of this pack when someone tries for a long bomb like that.
6 goals to McAdam. He's displayed some great skill here today. Tucked away in the pocket, drop punt, hits the post. 6-3 to McAdam, 13-6 to 8-4. 84 to 52. Important now that Sydney hangs on, because they've done a lot of good work to get within some sort of touch.
Mark Roberts at the back to thump it away. Kelly looking for Dean McRae versus Anthony Stevens. Stevens shuffles it away. They're working hard out there at half-back. A free kick to the Swans.
Kelly got pushed in the back, Pete.
So Paul Kelly, the gutsy captain. Oh, dangerous, but Bays. Oh, Bays has dropped it. McAdam is there. He's dropped the sitter. Still going after it. Bays gets it to Luff, and the umpire said he threw it to him. And I think he might have too. McAdam is at 50. No. Oh, loose men everywhere for North Melbourne here. Ashenko should mark. Oh, poor play by the Sydney Swans. Shocking play by the Swans.
See, that sort of thing should never happen. Players just don't concentrate, realise what's going on around them and pick up a man. It was well read there by McAdam. Got the ball down quickly. It had to be a long kick, but good enough to find Ashenko.
Alex Ashenko for goal number 2. And he has put it through. So they've steadied North Melbourne. At least the Swans have mounted a comeback and they're still in it. 14-6 to 8-4.
Yes, but as you mentioned before, Pete, you don't want to be careful here, the Swans. They don't allow North to blow this lead out again. They've worked hard enough this quarter to reduce the margin. They must hang on.
Ashenko kicking it out on the park, on Princes Park here. Must be pretty pleased. Ross, you said he fancies himself as a full forward, the big man. He's kicked a couple. It's always nice to have 2 alongside your name before half-time.
Well, he was criticised a little for his kicking style and the early part of his Eagles set-up, but he certainly looked very good in the 2 he's kicked today.
Tunbridge won the tap clearly. Begovic to Daniels.
Oh,
Kepler. They might get away with this, Peter, because Kepler steadies, goes for it, and kicks it behind. 3 points to Kepler. He's had a few kicks, 8 kicks today. 14-6 to 8-5. With just under 5 minutes remaining in what's been always an entertaining first half. There's always been something to look at and to admire at one end, and that's a terrific mark by Tunbridge. Minton Connell wants it. Tunbridge goes wide towards him, but doesn't have the length or the power. Stevens, oh, good kick. Geez, done that well a couple of times to Carey. Carey could just about goal here. If he straightens up, he'll goal. Here we go. Bang. Misses. Probably should have kicked it before he went round.
Yes, the pad the player running at him, Bruce, but yeah, the extra bounce 2 middle actually. McAdam led for him once, but then ducked back.
Paul Bryce. And his third AFL club. Brings it wide. Kepler and Stevens. Oh, Kepler just... Well, he just doesn't work hard enough, Darren Kepler. Roberts receives from Blakey. Roberts to the halfway line. McAdam will wait at the back. It's a loose ball. It comes to Kepler. It's a good hand pass. He finds Bays. Bays with that sweeping kick. And Werner couldn't get there before it beat him over the line.
Been a quiet day for the ex-Bomber Werner. He's had some moments for Sydney this year. He's kicked 10 goals in the 4 matches so far. Bays at the back, Rock's handball, didn't go anywhere. McRae thumps it over the line. Clarkson with him, and again a throw in. With 3.5 minutes remaining in a first half that's produced 22 goals to date. McAdam's kicked 6, and Lewis 3 for Sydney. And 3 players have got 2 goals before half-time. Bays goes up for the ruck. Thump forward by Sydney. Handball on by Rock. Falling over was Smith. Was untidy in the end. Kepler, the tackle looked very good by Stevens. Kepler in it with again Kepler, caught this time by German. Waters goes to ground. Well played, Scott Waters. High drop punt. Minton Connell out after it. Martin with him. Laidley sweeps a handball out wide. Good footy to Clarkson, to Laidley. Drop punt. Carey out of position. Daniels unable to take it. Handball. McGovern. Centre wing. Little one. Waters half volleyed it, but well, probably paid. The umpire was in a good position. Scott Waters. He's had 12 touches. This one to half forward. Scholl caught. Now Allison. Martin was with him, just paved away. Allison back towards centre wing. Tunbridge and Carey.
Punched away by Carey. Disciplined play because he was caught behind. Oh, Werner's having an absolute shocker. Taken away. That was by Clarkson, the half forward. No mark to Considine. Anthony Rock. Great play by Rock. Terrific vision. Ramiro, an open goal coming up. He chips it in the little rover for a goal. Great play by Anthony Rock.
It was a good kick, Pete, wasn't it? Just centre the ball nicely rather than take it into the pocket. Good shepherding work on the wing by Carey, the skipper. And Rock, as we said, just bending around the corner. Roberts telling him that he's clear, just to settle, don't rush. And in the end, an easy goal.
$15 goals, 7 to 8-5. Ramiro's first goal. Rock's had 15 touches until half-time. Daniels over the top of it. Tackle on him was fair. Oh, well done, Kelly. Got out of jail. And a good kick towards Lewis. Spoil on him by Archer. Strooper. Pressure by Archer was very good, forcing Strooper to kick it out on the full. Good defensive play all round there by Archer, against Lewis firstly and then against Strooper. And Scholl will get the kick for North Melbourne. Neat drop punt. Carey the target. Bays with him. Oh, splendid mark, Carey. He's arguably the centre half forward in the competition. Now the Brereton's out of action and Kernahan's more as a full forward. Carey's kicking towards centre half forward. Tunbridge was off.
Oh, he was too.
but given the benefit, swings it wide to Kelly. Trying to run him down was Clarkson and put enough pressure on the captain to force him to kick it out of play. So a disappointing result there for Sydney. And from one captain to the other, Carey at centre wing.
Wayne Carey under the minute till half time. Much improved performance by the Swans. But North have steadied. Over the back is Wheeler. Wheeler puts the ball on the ground. He's lost it. Mark Roberts tries to shuffle it on, and the umpire will come in and bounce. The 50-metre line, 15-7 to 8-5. North Melbourne leading. There's Wheeler, number 27. So still a chance for North. Kelly loses the ball in the tackle. Handball to Wheeler. That came from McGovern, that hand pass. Centre wing is Archer, most impressive player on the left foot. We've got 10 seconds in which to score. Up they go. No mark. Clarkson gets his boot to it. At half forward, and McRae takes it over the line. It'll be a throw in, and there's the siren to end the second quarter here at Princess Park. A much improved effort by Sydney, but North Melbourne still with a huge advantage. 15-7, 97 to Sydney 8-5, 53.
So the goal kickers for North, McAdam 6, Longmire 2, Ashenko 2. Allison's got one along with Roberts and Carey and Schwass and Ramiro. And for Sydney, Lewis 3, Minton Connell a couple with Hutton and one to Strooper. Good work by North Melbourne. Terrific first quarter, and then Sydney came charging back, but North has been able to withstand that for the moment, and have got a big lead at half-time at Princess Park. As we check the scores, it's North Melbourne 15-7, 97 to the Swans 8-5, 53.
McAdam, Bruce, and did a fair job.
Start of the second half at Princess Park, North Melbourne leading by 44 points in a high-scoring match, 15-7 to 8-5. John Blakey out of the centre, quickly attacks the goal front. Longmire there with McAdam. Bryce off the ground, McRae towards half-back. Kelly goes with Stevens. They both go to ground. Stevens recovers well. The handball's good. Blakey's normally a penetrating kick. He goes bang again. Longmire and Bryce. Sydney with numbers. Running it over was Rock, and a behind a North rushed. So they go up to 15-8 to 8-5. 98 to 53. At quarter time it was 11-5 to 1-3. And Sydney had a rush in the second term when they banged on a number of goals to bring themselves back into the match.
Paul Bryce straight down the centre of the ground. Beautiful kick too. Carey up in front, couldn't take the mark. Had a good battle with Bays. That's Peter German up towards Longmire. The Swans backman came from everywhere. That was good pressure. Now here's Neil Brunton. Should take this towards the line. He's got back up support though. That was Kelly getting in a hand pass. Dean McRae kicks and was just pushed off balance as he kicked, and he only succeeded in putting it out on the full. So kick out there to be taken by Brett Allison, who is a beautiful kick. There he is. His dad, Tommy Allison, was a terrific half forward for North Melbourne many moons ago.
Around your time, Pete?
No, well before me, Ross. And Tommy, I think he lives now up in Canberra. Very good half forward. Now there's the kick in towards full forward. Ashenko sets himself, and Carey, the ball hits the deck. Wheeler. Oh, he wasn't sure what to do with it. An awkward looking left foot kick. One good effort there by Werner, because there were 3 North players and he got his handball in. Good effort.
Yeah, Wayne Swass back on the ground, was taken off in that second quarter. Dean McRae, the player, just to quieten Swass in that second term.
It's been outstanding too, Swass, earlier in North's run to the top of the table, so it's a good effort by McRae. Considine, who did pretty well when he came on in the second term. Werner to half forward. Strooper sets himself with him fairly. And just running it over the line, North Melbourne. Scholl. Sun breaking through again. It's been a warm day in Melbourne, and North Melbourne particularly provided some hot footy early on. Stroop at the back, trying to take it out of the air. Hutton, clever. Minton Connell. Free kick against Martin.
Yeah, for holding on there, Bruce. Umpire Murray Bird adjudicating that Martin had hold of Minton Connell's jump up. Nick's not happy. It's there.
Yes.
A bit more than his jumper there, I think.
He does hang on a bit, Mickey Martin,
Yes.
doesn't he, Ross?
Does
when
tend
he
to
gets
sprag a
behind.
little, yes.
2 goals to Minton Connell, both of them in the second quarter. And he's only played the one game where he had a hamstring problem earlier this year. And he's hooked it, unfortunately, for Sydney. So it's a behind to Minton Connell, ex-Carlton player, so most of his footy's been at this ground, certainly his training, and it's 98-54.
Would have been contrasting comments made by the respective coaches at half-time. Dennis Pager would not have been happy with North's second quarter. Brett Scott, I'm sure, and Kevin Egan would have been very happy with the Swans' second quarter.
Well, it's at half-back for North, as it's taken over the line, and 2 North players spoiled each other going for that mark. One was Ashenko, and I think the other one was Roberts. So it's at centre wing, Ashenko and Tunbridge. Tunbridge at the back, McGovern to lend a hand, Stevens a quick kick to the half-forward line, Carey in front, did it well, over to Roberts. Hooking it back. That was good play by Roberts to Carey. Oh, quick hands by Carey. On to Blakey. Blakey centres the ball. That was magnificent play by John Blakey, and you can take a bow for that. That was great.
It was terrific, wasn't it? Good hands from Carey on both occasions there to pick the ball up initially, then to recover and get the ball out there. Good handball going back, and Blakey there just wanting to pass it off, but gee, looked upfield very quickly. Now the corner guy just got the ball around.
Longmire for goal number 3. And John Longmire's kicked it. So 3 to the full forward after terrific play by Carey and Blakey.
Yes, that's good team play, Pete. You say they're just good hands by Carey. Roberts tapped the ball back nicely, and Carey back on his feet again, just gets the ball away quickly before the wheel tackle is really affected. A terrific kick there by Blakey, and the finish coming from Longmire.
50-point margin for North Melbourne. Lewis in the centre. And another bounce down. Dale Lewis with 3 goals in the first half. Tunbridge against Ashenko. Lewis got a high one. He might have been poked in the eye accidentally. He's certainly feeling the effects of it. But it'll be a ball up again. Again, Tunbridge and Ashenko to go against one another. Ashenko kicked a couple of goals in the second term. Kelly's quick kick away. 2 full forward. Hutton leading in the race. Here's Kapler. Good tackle, though, holding the footy. He was caught by Scholl. Almost froze for a moment, Kapler, and Scholl was able to take it off him. Now Fairley from half-back. Not all that good a kick. Carey. Werner had a quiet first half. That's better. And a great kick to Hutton. Well played, Werner.
Strong mark by Hutton in the end too, because he had Scholl bearing down on him. But you're right, Bruce, it was good play by Werner. Fairley had no one to kick to when he came out of the back line there. Had to kick all up to Carey, who led from centre half forward, and it was 3-on-1.
Without being too critical, the difference between Carey's shepherd earlier to help McAdam and Strooper running away there and not helping out at all, enabling Scholl to at least have a crack at Hutton. It's just a team sense, isn't it?
They're still not the team in that team. You're quite right there, Bruce.
Now, Hutton's kicked 2. He played the first quarter in the back line, and he's normally a good kick, and he's kicked his 3rd. Well, Peter McKenna was calling for that change at quarter time, and Pete, you've been proven right there, because 3 goals in a quarter of it's a good effort.
Well, I think he should have started there, to be quite honest.
Yes, they're set up there. You see this play by Werner, but you are right, Pete. He is a forward by nature, and their structure didn't suit them initially, so when the change is made, it's borne the fruit there.
Well, initially they had down there Strooper and Minton Connell, 2 similar type players alongside each other. As we see Roberts at half on, he did that too easily. Roberts in towards full forward. McAdam!
There's a player down the middle of the field, but they're taking away from McAdam too, Pete. There's a North player, hasn't
either
moved.
Archer or Rock. It could be Anthony Rock, but McAdam has marked. Yes, it is Anthony Rock. He's looks to be okay, but He's going for goal number 7, Adrian McAdam, from directly in front. And there it is. Well, he has been a sensation in 2 games. He's very strong overhead, Ross.
Yes, and he gets away and he's very clean with his ball handling, Pete. But just see this again. This is Rock going down, just coming through. Ooh, gee, that's solid. Is that Kelly?
Considine.
Considine, was it, Bruce? Yeah. But terrific stuff from McAdam, though. Detracting from his effort there.
7 goals and 7 the week before. 17-8 to 9-6, a free-flowing game, isn't it? Scoring easy to come by here. 7 goals to McAdam. Schwass out of the centre. Now McRae, 2 centre-half forward. Minton Connell and Hutton, or Hutton interfering there. No free kick. Fairley was able to mop up. Nice-looking kick towards Ashenko. He'll need a good bounce because he's going to have Werner pressing down on him. And well done, Werner, just to put the pressure on and force it out of play. And Ashenko also working hard, the big man. Presenting himself on the centre wing and then keeping it in front of him. Here's Tunbridge and Ashenko. Blakey and McGovern was at the back. A handball by Waters was a bit loose, but Kelly able to get away with it and kick the ball to half forward. Strooper and Fairley, and Scholl runs it out of play, and it'll be a throw in. Sydney attacking at left half forward. Strooper will probably do the ruck work here against Fairley. Again, Strooper tries to take it out of the air. Here's Waters in the pocket, left foot, centering kick. Minton Connell, good stretch. Martin with him. Play on, correct call, but Minton Connell had first grab, Martin second, and Minton Connell third.
Yeah, well called, Bruce.
That's it. And the umpire Vernon there making the correct decision. Yep, that's right. 1 for Minton Connell, 2 for Martin, 3 for Minton Connell.
When you're biased out in the crowd, you always see that as a mark.
That's right.
In the goal square for the Swans. Lewis, left foot behind. So point there to Dale Lewis. He's kicked 3 goals, and Sydney go up to 9-7. North Melbourne 17-8.
So Ross Smith about to bring the ball back into play. Ashenko, good strong mark. Alex Ashenko to the half-forward line, Bays and Keary. Been a good contest, socket off the ground. Here's a dangerous McAdam. Oh, good hand pass, McAdam. Into Roberts. Roberts fires a goal and right through the middle. 2 goals to Mark Roberts. Great handball by Adrian McAdam.
Yes, and that was the shortest way home too, Pete, from the kick out from Smith. The mark by Ashenko, the kick down forward, looking for Carey. The kick off the ground by German was great, thinking into space, and then McAdam with pace off the ground and a terrific quick left hand handball. And Roberts is an accomplished player, a little underrated at times, but it's a very good finish.
(18-8 to 9-7). Some great kicking by North Melbourne. Ramiro out of the centre. Oh, good stretch by Carey. The Ramiro kick had a bit on in the end, and I think Bays was caught unawares.
Yes, you're right there. He was in front, he's in the right position. He just carried that extra distance, as Bruce said, and Carey with his stature able to take that grab quite comfortably in the end.
Well, before today, he'd kicked 20 goals for the season in his 5 matches. 1 today, and Longmire also had 20, and he's got 3 today. They've been the leading lights for North, but McAdam's catching them quickly, isn't he? With 14 in 2 matches. Carey, bang, puts it through. And that goal has been peppered all day, hasn't it? 11 goals in the first quarter, 8 in the second, or 7, I should say, and now North Melbourne getting this real run on again, Ross.
Yes, and they're 3 key forwards, as you mentioned, Bruce, with Longmire, Carey and McAdam all contributing, particularly Longmire and Carey early in the season. McAdam in these last 2 games, it's a terrific 3-pronged attack.
So we're back to the centre. Tunbridge and Ashenko having a good battle. Wheeler does well to get it to Lewis. Oh, a good kick by Lewis, a penetrating kick. Hutton at the back, Minton Connell at the front. Minton Connell hooks it back. He was looking for Strooper. Oh, well played by Fairley to tap it across with his foot and gets it to Scholl. Scholl, this could be out in the full. Yes, bounced over the line, so it'll be a penalty kick there to Jason Daniels.
He's tagging Swans now.
Daniels, oh, that is a shocking kick by Daniels, and that is why probably St Kilda have let him go. Stevens. Carey, oh, look at the strength of Carey. Beautiful mark, gets it to Swans. Danger here, the leader's on Longmire, 20 metres in front. Bryce caught unawares, easy as you like.
But it's interesting, as soon as Carey took the mark and Swans ran to go toward him, Longmire took off for the lead, just knew the play was coming to him, and it's well done.
So John Longmire has kicked 3. He is directly in front. He has kicked his 4th. And North doing it easily at the moment. 20 goals 8 to 9 goals 7.
This is almost a bit of deja vu here from this first quarter, looking very similar to the third to the first, with the onslaught from North. But that's just terrific forward play. And completing the chain is Longmire.
(128 to 61). North Melbourne with 5 goals in this third quarter. Hashenko. Roberts is there. Carey's had a terrific term. Taps it forward. Here's Roberts for another one. Bang. His third. Well, it is deja vu, isn't it? It's the first quarter all over again. And North are running up a cricket score.
Yes, and Mark Roberts here, just as I said before, he's a bit of an underrated player. He's played a lot of footy in the back line, but as a half forward, he's got size, mobility, and he's a very clean ball handler, good skills. He showed that again.
They've certainly got plenty of goal kicking potential up in their forward line. There's Blakey and Wheeler. Now Daniels, quick kick, Waters. Waters, oh, it weaves his way through the centre and brings it out towards half forward. There's Archer, who played a great first quarter. Hutton is there also. Well played, John Hutton, but only succeeds in putting it out on the full. But he did work hard. A bit of a pushing and shoving going on out there. He's lost his helmet, Hutton, and Glenn Archer's thrown it 5 metres away. And it's a free kick now going the way of Sydney, and it will go way out there. Number 20, John Hutton. Now he's kicked 3. He's going the torpedo punt here. It's a wobbly and straight in the hands of Stevens. Taken away by Laidley to the half-back line.
Ramiro inside to German, and he spent most of the first half on the interchange to centre half forward. Oh, well done again, Carey. He's winning that position. German loves to kick goals on the run. It's a sweet feeling, isn't it? And that rebounding half-backer bangs it through. 22-8 to 9-7.
There's an Archer being taken off the ground for that little skirmish with Hutton. And Clarkson to come on. Roberts is going down to the half-back line just at the moment to pick up Lewis, taking Roberts away from half forward. It may just be momentarily, or he may stay there full time. We'll let you know what happens there.
Well, North Melbourne going on their merry way, 140 to 61, and as Bruce said, Peter German loves those running goals. He's done it many times over the years for North. There's Daniels and Blakey, free kick to Daniels. And that's a disciplinary message, I would say, from Dennis Pagan to the youngster Archer for an indiscretion on right in front of the coach, actually, on the other half-forward flank. Now, Michael Martin gets it to Blakey. Blakey's been an excellent pickup for North Melbourne. Centre of the ground. Wheeler receives from Daniels. The kick. Hutton is the flyer at the back. No mark. In they go. Kepler a chance. Kepler, can he get onto his left foot? Oh, he's handball to a man who was covered. That was Kelly holding the ball. Now the umpire pays the advantage as Scholl kicks it to the half-forward line. The pack develops. It's thumped clear. Schwass a further thump. McRae can give it over the top here. Lovely kick by McRae, and he's found Daniels.
Blakey coming off the ground too. He may have done a knee. That's can't tell from here specifically. Hope he's okay.
Yes, because he's been very good today and this year for North Melbourne. Martin robbed by Kelly. Free kick.
In fact, Blakey may have an ankle problem. Archer is back on the ground.
Kelly's handball to Waters. Waters torpedo punt, leans back. Good looking kick. With goal. Well, a great kick by Waters. Just leant back on it and went bang. 22-8 to 10-7. Now, this was the Archer-Hutton incident.
Yes, and let's get back to that Scotty Waters kick. There's a bit of quality about Scotty Waters. Just couldn't quite fit into the Eagles side. That's a great kick. And John Blakey just on the boundary line there is being attended to by the doctor at North Melbourne.
Tunbridge out of the centre. Schwartz against the flow. Kept his eye on it. Showed some courage. Wide kick. Considine. Couldn't keep his footing. Laidley over the top. And it'll be a ball up. 22-8 to 10-7. Ed Considine started on the interchange. North Melbourne 5-0 in this third quarter. There's German. Left foot. Doesn't go very far. Begovic missed it. Also missed by Brunton and Wheeler. Stevens looking for a free kick, and it'll be a ball up. North 12 goals in front.
Well, there's the Marks Ross, 9-2, and they've probably controlled the ball. That's why. Centre wing, Tunbridge, kicked away by Clarkson, and out on the full. Penalty kick out there to be taken by Brunton. Neil Brunton. The kick looking for Lewis. He's beaten for it by Archer, but in the meantime, probably he's paying the advantage. He paid the free kick to his Archer's teammate. Actually, there's Carey really coming into his own now. On to Stevens. Stevens to McAdam. Oh, he just took his eyes off it at the last second and missed that. Luff, dangerous one. Daniels caught high. Free kick to Jason Daniels and a trip 50 metres.
Interesting to see what Dennis Bagan's reaction is to that. Pyman's on the bench warming up. I'm just trying to pick who's coming off it.
You see this?
It's Brett Allison, I think it is. You're coming off.
Oh, no. Why would he handball that? As it's kicked off the ground by Stevens. Out there for Fairley. Stevens again, a good workhorse. Anthony Stevens on the shoal. And the Swans should mark this. There's three of them, and Scott Waters held his ground and did mark. Centre wing. He's looking for some movement. There it is. Considine waits at half forward and marks 45 metres from goal. This is Ed Considine, former Essendon player. Has yet to score a goal, better known as a backman. Considine for the 11th goal from the Swans. Oh, he laid right back on that one. Won't make the distance. Up they go. Ramiro at the base of the pack. Kicks it out to the half-back line.
Lewis and Archer out of play. Allison did come off, didn't he?
Yes, he did come off, and I'm just not sure. He's actually talking to Dennis Pagan at the moment. He looks as if he limped off a little with had a thigh or a hamstring. He may have just been his running style. He just did look a bit stiff.
Laidley at the back. Waters, Pyman, Brunton, McGovern, now Kapler under pressure to Werner, fends off German. That was okay to Brunton. Brunton up to half forward. Considine with a stretch. Stroopers had a quiet one. Considine round the body. Hutton against Scholl. Well played Scholl in the front spot. He's able to push it in front of himself and then keep his footing, and the kick back to centre wing and the mark taken by Brunton to Werner. Left foot. Minton Connell crashing into Ramiro. No free kick. Lewis gets a free kick against Archer or Rock, not sure yet. And Ramiro.
It's his second crash to the ground today. The first one looked pretty terrible. That one from Minton Connell, pretty solid.
Should that be a free kick? What do you think,
Yeah,
Ross?
it's interesting. I mean, Minton Connell had his eyes on the footy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty savage.
Crashed into his back, though, didn't he?
So Jose picks himself up. A tough little nut, isn't he? And he'd be hurting right now. And this man's a good kick of a footy. We've already said that. He's kicked 3, Lewis. From 45 metres out. Drop, punt. Looks a goal. It is. 4 goals to Dale Lewis. And Sydney 11-7, trailing North Melbourne 22-8.
Yes, it does look as if Jose Ramiro's okay, but Dale Lewis, certainly, as we see Ron Barassi in screen there, just taking a few notes there with the Swans. But Lewis, a bit of a class player, Pete.
Yeah, top player, and Barras has not had that pen out of his hand. I reckon he's gone through about 15 fool's cap pages of notes. As we see Kelly receiving from Daniels. There's McRae, waited for it. At the back, Kelly again. Beaten for it by Rock. Here's the dangerous Carey. Oh, Carey very quick to get it to Stevens. Well played, Wayne Carey. Stevens centres it. Mark Roberts at the back. Now a chance for Johnny Longmire. An open goal looms and he slams it through. 5 goals to John Longmire, and the North supporters are wrapped. 23-8. They're still going to kick a big score, Bruce, to 11-7.
And Pete, as you mentioned during the call there, it's a clever tap. Good contest there from Rock, and Carey just a clever tap back to Stevens, who broke the tackle from Bays. And here Roberts takes a fly. Longmire stays down, which is terrific stuff. Used his head and just pops through. Fairly straightforward goal.
It's an 8-goal quarter to North Melbourne, so they're challenging their performance in the opening term, and they kicked 11. Wallace ridden into the ground, gets a free kick.
It's definitely a free kick. I mean, I'm not sure what the crowd's booing about, but he was infringed blatantly in the back.
You love that free kick, don't you?
Well,
Bruce?
if you get infringed in the back, Pete, it's got to be paid. You're not allowed to push anyone on the back.
I'm not arguing.
24 touches, Waters. Here's Minton Connell, left foot, good kick. Unlucky. It was a good attempt. He's kicked 2 goals to Minton Connell, hitting the post. 12-goal margin, 23-8 to 11-8.
Ross has got that one, the one in the back, and I hate the one from the boundary throw-ins when they pay that Tiggy Touchwood free.
Well, you're both happy today, Pete. I haven't seen one of those paid all day.
No, they've been pretty good, the umps, as we see Hyman receiving. Carey is a clever player. He is very, very smart. Now, there's Roberts hooking it back to Pyman. Pyman shuffles it forward. Anthony Rock out to Stevens. Oh, look at the backing up. Carey again. Anthony Rock, 40 metres from goal. The little rover kicks and has missed. And they were up out of their seats there, those supporters at the back, in anticipation. 23-9 is still a huge leeway, isn't it? 23-9 to 11-8.
12-5 to Anthony Rock.
Had a great opening term, Ross. He was I think about 8 kicks in the first quarter.
He was a busy man.
Werner, Considine, good stretch. Waters, who's arguably Sydney's best. Kelly, the captain. Tap on by Considine. Kapler, Waters, clever. Daniel should go to Kapler here. He does now. Kapler from 65 metres. Lovely kick for a goal. It was a good option by Daniels.
Yes, it was a terrific handball from Waters too to find the space.
Yeah, terrific.
Look forward, got the ball on the ground. Watch this, between the two players in Smith and Laidley, and then certainly Daniels knowing that he's not a penetrating kick or an accurate one. And Kapler, the perfect player to kick from that position.
1-3 to Kapler, and Sydney up to 12 goals.
I think the cleverness of Scott Waters came out in that. That really was, as you said, Ross, a clever little hand pass. Now here's Wheeler receiving. Dean Laidley pops it from all angles, and it'll be a bounce on almost in the centre of the ground.
Yeah, well, Scotty Waters can see that angle quite clearly. He doesn't have to look up too far. He's down at that ground level. You can see the gap there quite simply.
So there's Considine doing the ruck work, but taken away by Rock again to half forward. Longmire over the back. trapped in there by Bryce, and now Bays. The North players appealing for holding the ball then. And the rule, I know David Parkin rang Don Scott the other day to remind all the commentators that when you hook it back in, Ross, underneath you, and then a slow getting rid of it, it's definitely holding the ball. So centre wing is Peter German. It's a free kick going the way of North Melbourne, too high, and it will go to German.
Centre wing. Centre half forward the target. Longmire, Carey, they all flew. Rock well roved, left foot for goal and kicks it. If you wanted to be out of the textbook and you had a little kid there who wanted to be a rover, that was what to show him, wasn't it?
Yes, at the call of the fall of the ball here. German's a good penetrating kick. Carey coming from less hurts himself here. He gets caught in a crash there in the middle. Might have been Tunbridge perhaps, but just the reading off the pack. Exactly what you want from a rover.
His first, had a good match.
So we're back in the centre. Swans backmen are copying it from all angles here. And umpire, what did he play that for? It looks
to be kicking in danger.
Yeah, that's what I thought. As we see Rock, a wobbly one. McCann was quick to get to that ball and almost took it. That's Begovic on the Bryce. Bryce wide. He's looking. Kelly's got two to beat here. Oh, he's bumped off the ball. A good hip and shoulder by Swash. Clarkson back to Swash. Swash a quick kick. McAdam at the back. Thumps at the ground. Well, it didn't actually reach the ground before it was booted back. And that was by Brunton and marked again by Waters. Playing a great game, Scotty Waters.
Lewis, well played, Archer. He started in outstanding fashion. Schwass on his right foot, which is his wrong leg. McAdam, 7 goals, 5 of them in the first term. He is a thumping kick, but too far out. Just a little one. Good play to Longmire.
That's a great kick.
Well, the North players left that space there for Longmire to run into, and then McAdam just held the ball up long enough to allow Longmire to get there. And Luff, who was actually McAdam's opponent, with Bryce standing the mark, picking up Longmire, couldn't get there in time.
McAdam very new to this forward setup. You reckon he's been playing with these blokes for 10 years. Great kick, Longmire, number 6.
4 in this term, Bruce.
Well, North Melbourne has kicked 10 goals in this quarter. They've sort of snuck up on us, haven't they? 11 in the first and 10 in this.
Yes, it may be a half of football that gets them to this very big score, but it was the right option there by McAdam. A good play by Swass down on this wing to get rid of Kelly initially to set the play up.
So we go back to the centre. Clever that kick by McAdam. He just lobbed it in front, didn't he? He didn't kick it hard. It was a very smart sign of a bloke who can play. As we see Kelly, and it's a free kick to Kapler. I think that was good umpiring. Then I reckon he might have paid the advantage. Then saw
that they were going
that
wide.
There was no advantage,
yes.
And brought it back. And that is top umpiring. That's my other pet one. That one, Bruce.
Correct interpretation for sure, Peter.
Well, when they bring it back, it's a good effort. Here's Lewis. Couldn't quite grab it. Considine. Taken away by Ross Smith. He's caught. How will the umpire see that? He made an attempt. And the umpire will come in and bounce it. Half forward for the Swans.
In attack. And would love a couple of goals before 3/4 time. It's been pretty much north and just north in this term. They've kicked 10 goals to 4. Minute and a half remaining in the 3rd quarter. It'll be a long one. It's been a long quarter because of the number of goals. Ramiro's quick kick away. Lewis, Archer, well played Archer, thumped it away. He's had a terrific match. Dale Lewis hasn't been too bad either. These 4 goals. Strooper goes against Fairley. Fairley won that one down. Pyman off the ground. Kapler trying to get it away to Waters, unable to do so. Thumped along the ground by Clarkson. Roberts, Laidley. Little one round the body. Was looking towards German. It was clever play by Laidley. Gave German the run of it. Centering kick. Longmire's out a long way. It bounces off him. Roberts, good take. Very well done. Had the strength to get it to Carey. Clever. Rock. Goal number 2. Is it? No, a behind. But some good individual play. You reckon over the top to Ramiro?
Yes, in fact, it was intended for Ramiro in the first place, and Rock came back against the flow of play, actually, but he perhaps wasn't to know that Ramiro's there, and then he just jammed his kick because the player came toward him. The handball should have been on.
I just saw a shot a moment ago of Neil Brunton with blood streaming from an eye cut.
Got it over on the half-forward flank about a minute ago.
Now, what have we got? 38 seconds to three-quarter time. Mark Bays looking for Tunbridge. He's been quiet this quarter. Nashenko. Now Wheeler. Ross Smith. Court gets in a hand pass. This is Pyman. To the half-forward line, the mark taken by Bryce. On to Bays. That sweeping kick. Penetrating kick. On to Considine. They've got a chance. They've got 14 seconds in which to score here now. Let's see this kick. Jason Daniels. Oh, he sets up Hutton there. Free kick, no.
Should have been.
Play on. Back it comes from Pyman to Fairley. And the mark taken. There's the siren. It won't count. Three-quarter time here at Princes Park. North Melbourne well on top. Another 10-goal quarter. 25-10, 160 to Sydney, 12-8, 80.
Three-quarter time at Princes Park, North Melbourne with a prolific third term. They've raced up to 25-10, 160, leading Sydney 12-8, 80.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
A remarkable game at the MCG. Essendon and Geelong 17-13 to 16-16. Paul Salmon has kicked 9 goals, 5 for the Bombers. And wait for this, Gary Ablett has kicked 12 goals, 7 for Geelong. So a remarkable game in more ways than one. It's been nip and tuck all day. What a beauty there, 115 to 112. Dennis Pyman talking with Wayne Schwass as we take a look at the three-quarter time summary with Ross Glendinning and Peter McKenna.
Yes, well, North just almost duplicating that first quarter that they kicked 11. They kicked 10 in that quarter, 10 goals, 3 to be precise. It's been good kicking on both sides, actually, for goal, 12-8 to 25-10. But there you see the stats. Sydney not that far out of it statistically, but North just dominance in the air with their better precision kicking, and centre breaks fairly even, just that 150-metre penalty, which was against Adrian McAdam.
Dennis Pagan, I should have said, not Pyman, who's the recruit, playing for North Melbourne. So let's hope that Sydney can salvage something here with a high-scoring final term. By the way, the North Melbourne record against Sydney is 27-26. It was in 1991, so they're not too far off that at 25-10. They'd need 5 goals to better that, and, well, you'd think they'd have a chance the way they're playing. Set for the final term. Grant Vernon holds the footy aloft. Double the score here, 160 to 80. Quick kick out of the centre by German. Carey had a fantastic third quarter. Bays had kept him in check until then and goes towards the boundary line and finds it. Mark Bays given the big job today on the North Melbourne skipper. As I said, Carey, reasonable first half, nothing spectacular, but he was dominating in the third quarter. A real avenue for North Melbourne to go through. Roberts, Tunbridge, snared by Pyman. Here's Carey and Bays again. Ramiro, clever, quick kick. Nice mark by Luff. That time in front of McAdam. Plays on.
Oh, gee. He had a look upfield with that kick. He had no one to kick to at all, so he went for a torpedo and tried to boot the cover off it and just affected it very poorly. Luckily, it didn't go to bounds on the full.
And in the end, Roscoe probably fortuitously got the best result possible.
That's right. And as Ross said, there are all North players everywhere. Pyman peeling for a free kick. Oh. McAdam off the ground by McAdam. Danger here. Is that a mark? No. As Kelly will take it. Well, he'll take it through for a behind.
Well, Robert Pyman hasn't got a left-hand handball, that's for sure. He tried to throw that one around the corner on his right hand. Got some work to do there.
So Paul Bryce now one-on-one contest here. Considine at the back, Roberts at the front. Considine butters up, handballs. That's good thinking. It's straight to Ross Smith. A wild hand pass. Here's Troy Luff. The kick. Carey misses it. Laidley, Lewis, well played by Dale Lewis. Here's little Anthony Rock, one of the best players on the ground. Brunton, Considine up in the air. It's all North Melbourne, and Carey will mark on centre wing. He's playing well up the ground, Carey, Ross.
Yeah, Roberts is slotted into centre half forward.
Now, Ashenko off the ground by Ramiro, and again McAdam caught behind. Now, well, got a hand at the Luff. He's playing in front of McAdam.
Well, McAdam did the similar thing last Friday night too, Pete. Once he kicked a few of his goals, he tended to sit behind a bit rather than get in front.
Yeah, he might be waiting for the easy one over the back.
It's a bit of a trap for the young blokes, particularly with a few goals up your sleeve. You tend to just drop back a bit rather than keeping on presenting yourself.
Thinking the job's done.
That's basically what it is, Bruce. Yep.
Tunbridge and Ashenko. Two big strong bodies. Wheeler just thumped the forward. Pyman, nice take. A handball was good this time to Smith, and Smith goes bang. McAdam's at the back this time. Oh, well done. He read it well against Luff.
Yes, and Ross Smith, a good direct kick there. He looked upfield, had an option of a lead from Longmire, and then McAdam called him long, and that's where the kick went. And Luff started in front, as Bruce said, but McAdam just got himself to the front, the right posse. Here he started behind, just eyes on the footy, just in front of Luff, and a good strong mark.
Good hands, hasn't he?
Yes.
And a pretty good kick normally. He's kicked 7 today and bangs that through for 8. 8 to McAdam, 6 to Longmire, and North Melbourne starting as they have for most of the day with a goal. 26-11 to 12-8.
And Russell Green, the North runner, just bringing McAdam up to this 50-metre line. Just see this kick again from Ross Smith in replay. Looked up at the option of the lead from Longmire, but went long with the call from McAdam. McAdam did the rest. Yes, it looks as if Dennis Pagan wants McAdam to play up on that 50-metre line and leave Longmire in the square.
(26-11 to 12-8). McAdam 8 goals. Oh, what a sparkling start he's had to his league career with 7 and 8, 15 goals in 2 matches. A remarkable performance. He's had plenty of opportunities today, but early he was brilliant. And the game had to be won in the first quarter. Schwass's quick kick away to half forward, Luff. So Luff from half-back. It's his first game for the season. Wheeler. Now, Werner's loose. If he can get it quickly to him, that's the way he's going to go. And there should be a paddock here for Werner, who is a penetrating kick. Takes a bounce. Just chips it over the top to Waters. Now, Kapler's on. If he can quickly get it there. Got into a bit of trouble. Back to Werner. Left foot. Not a bad kick by Werner. A very good one to Minton Connell. Sure he saw him.
Yes, he did. He worked that pretty well. Waters got into trouble, got himself out of it, and because Werner backed up, he was able to get the football back, and that was a very good kick on his left foot to Minton Connell. Gave the forward every chance.
Had a very good year at Sydney in 1992. He's a potential 80-goal-a-year man, you reckon, this fellow? 4 a week, and just missing. So 2-3 to Minton Connell, but he hasn't played a lot of footy this year. You're a pretty good judge of that, Peter. You reckon a few blokes are around the 100. You reckon he's about an 80-goal-a-year man?
Well, probably about 80, because we're playing with the Swans. It's not going to go down there as much as with a lot of other teams. And also, he's had a lot of hamstring trouble, Bruce, which is you'll find it hard coming back from that. But he's certainly got the potential. He's a good player. Now that's Pyman to the half-forward line. Ramiro gets it to German. That's a clever little kick by German to Longmire. And Longmire will kick from about 40 metres. He's already kicked 6.
And good running from Anthony Stevens too on this wing to assist his teammate with the shepherd. It was a terrific kick. Longmire just led far too quickly and smartly.
John Longmire from directly in front stabs a wobbly one, but it's a goal. So that is 7 goals to the fast leading full forward. North Melbourne move on to 27-11 to Sydney 12-9.
Yes, well, they certainly could get to that record. Pyman's a player coming down the field. And there was as I mentioned, you didn't quite see it there, but Stevens assisted with the shepherd. It's a good little handball from Ramiro to German, who does deliver the footy pretty well. And Longmire does the rest.
$15 goals North have got out of Longmire and McAdam today as a duo. It's a splendid result, isn't it? Forward again go North Melbourne. Clarkson, McAdam, Rock from 40 metres and kicks another one. 2 to Rock. North for 28 goals, 11 to 12-9. And their record against Sydney is 27-26, so they're closing fast on that.
Yes, and the importance of instinctively quick hands there. McAdam just doing the first option, not going back and having a kick. Rock coming past, and he does the rest. Sydney must maintain the momentum. They can't let this slip too far.
Schenko getting on top with Tunbridge. Tunbridge is tiring. Wheeler to the half-forward line. The North players will get there first. Laidley with desperation, and also Struper. And the ball is locked under those players. So the umpire, Grant Vernon, will come in and bounce almost on centre wing. So there's Struper. And a wrestling match going on there. Centre wing. Tap towards the line. Stevens did well to keep that in. Wheeler, good pickup. Left foot, oh, he can't get his boot to it. Mark Roberts did that well, taps it on the German. Taken by McRae. Dean McRae on the left foot. His target is Swass. Swass waits for it. Taps it back cleverly. He's got a Schenko to back him up. On to Swass. He probably should have kicked that one instead of handballing, but he's got McAdam and Pyman. Pyman's disposal normally pretty good. Up in the air, Longmire and Bryce. Punched away. Here's McAdam. And he has missed. He's kicked a point. So 28-12 to 12-9. He's dangerous, Ross, McAdam.
Yes. Exciting, isn't he?
Well, he's given away 2 or 3
goals. That's what
goals.
people come to the football to see, Pete, that type of player.
Yes, he's got a rare talent. Here's Rock, who's had a fantastic match. Will this be goal number 3? Just missing. He's kicked 2-3, Rock, but he's had 18 kicks and 6 handballs. The 22-year-old. He's now played over 50 games. An important player now for North.
Yes, he and Scotty Waters, Bruce, the leading stat winners on the ground at the moment. Waters with 16 and 10.
Bryce was looking for Tunbridge, Kapler, Dale Lewis, well done Schwass, who's got better as the game's gone on. Laidley had a bit of a fumble. Considine in there, over the top Ross Smith, and it'll be a bounce down. 16 for the margin. And the North forwards having a big day out, aren't they? Particularly McAdam and Longmire. Went through Daniel's legs. Here's Wheeler. Handball ineffective. Rock again. Good play to Archer, who was very impressive in the first quarter. Good hands by German. He's done well since coming on. You know that he's good enough to be in the first 18. It's just whether he can find the consistency. Clarkson to Carey. And it's getting to be pretty easy at the moment for North Melbourne.
Yes, Mark Bay's got caught between there. He ran at Clarkson to try and take a smother there, then slipped over trying to get back to Carey, who doubled back, knowing that Bays had left him, and now there's a shot at goal.
188 is the record number of points for North against Sydney, and this will bring them to 187. And the rain is starting to come down, so it must be Melbourne. It was sunny when we first got here today and very hot. Carey leans back on it, lazy a bit there, behind. But hard to criticise his play. His centre forward has had 12 kicks as Ron Barassi continues to take notes. We talk to Ron on Sports World tomorrow for the Eastern State, well, for the Melbourne, Perth and Adelaide viewers. Rugby League hour in Sydney, and might ask him, Peter, what he's been writing down all afternoon. Hope he doesn't do it word by word. We'll run out quickly.
Oh, I was about to say that the show will have to go for 4 hours, I think, as we see Mark Roberts in towards the pocket. McAdam, yes, oh, he's going for goal number 9, would you believe? Well, he's given off about 2 or 3 goals with handballs as well, Ross.
Yes, and a few times the ball's come down to him too, but he's been caught behind. Luff's been in front, so he had more opportunities if he had presented himself on more occasions, but a bit of quality about this bloke.
Well, he just reads the play so well, yes, doesn't he? Adrian McAdam, look at that. 16 for a forward pocket player, 16 kicks and 12 marks. Going for goal number 9. There's the kick. Oh, no doubt about it. It's right through the middle. Adrian McAdam has kicked 9 goals, would you believe, out of the 29 for North Melbourne, and Longmire's kicked 7.
Yes, it's been a wonderful complement of forwards down there with Carey, Longmire and McAdam, as Pete said. Just it has worked ever so well, and you can even throw in Mark Roberts when he's been around the area there. He's chipped in with 3. So they've had some terrific forward system going today.
North Melbourne has equalled its best ever total against Sydney. They've played 122 encounters before today. And no doubt they'll better it because there's plenty of time remaining. 188 to 81. Through Wheeler, off the ground by Stevens. Waters, been a real battler. Kelly gets a free kick. It'll come back. Kelly to take it. Defensive side of centre. He's had 12 and 4, Kelly, but most of his kicks have been under pressure. He hasn't had a big impact on this match. Probably in Sydney's best half dozen, but it's not saying a real lot. Here's Bays. Looks for Lewis at half forward. Archer over the top. Very good defensive play. Out of play, and it'll be a throw in.
Well, he's tagging Lewis at the moment. It says a lot about Dale Lewis's play,
Yes.
Ross. Centre wing. Wheeler doing the ruck work. Oh, well done by Laidley. He'll tap it over the back. Taken away by German. A beautiful kick. McAdam! Oh, he just dropped the head at the last minute. It cost him the mark in his 10th goal, I think. Luff to half forward. Ross Smith back with a flight. He really should have snaffled that one, and he would have kicked his 10th, I would think. Scholl on the left foot. Mark Roberts at the back. Good mark. She's an improved player. And an excellent hand pass. Clarkson, the leaders on Longmire again. And you cannot stop those, Paul Bryce.
Well, Pete, just looking down the track a bit for North, next week they've got Footscray at the Western Oval, Adelaide at Football Park, back to that ground that I'm sure they want to make amends. Carlton at the MCG, and then Collingwood at Victoria Park. So a big month of football for North.
Johnny Longmire for goal number 8. Oh, it's a wobbly. Will it clear the pack? No, it won't. He didn't get on. That was a kick like Stephen Kernahan at the...
That's right.
Except it swung that way, but
yes,
he missed it altogether.
It's a helicopter.
We know what you mean, Pete.
Well,
A helicopter.
A helicopter kick, that's right.
The rotor blades.
Well, we just invented a new kick, Ross, then, did he?
Painting it, Ross. Make sure you put your sign on it so no one else takes hold of it. Here's Luff. That, by the way, brought up a record score for North against Sydney in the long history of the contest between the two clubs. Begovic, who's had a very, very quiet day. Wheeler through the centre. Nice looking kick off the boot. Hutton got caught underneath it. Free kick, or the mark paid to Scholl, who's been reliable. So's this man. Stevens has been terrific. That was Smith to Stevens from centre wing. Beautiful long kick. McAdam at the back gives away a free kick to Love.
He's trying to say to the umpire that was in motion of going for the football that he's got eyes on the ball, but I'm sure Dennis Pagan will continue to remind him he's got to get in front.
Well, the discipline things are going to be so important in a crunch match in the next month. Right. They're going to be tight at times.
Well, there's going to be a marked man, Bruce.
And why not after kicking 16 goals in your first 2 matches? That's Minton Connell way up from full forward. Here's Mickey Martin playing his 100th. He's got reason to celebrate today because the team that he's a part of have had a terrific win. The kick by Scholl, not so good. Kapler. What's he had? 10 and 6, Kapler. There's his kick from centre wing.
Michael Martin with courage. Stayed in front of that pack and was not unloaded, but he was probably expecting to be. There's the kick to the centre of the ground. Big Ashenko, Big Alex. Oh, well taken by Rock. McAdam at the back. Oh, yes, here it comes. Great kick by Rock, and Adrian McAdam, well, I think he's going to kick his 10th.
Yes, well, Troy Luff there was just too far in front. I mean, there's a way of being in front to try and cover your man, but Anthony Rock through the centre of the ground. That's beautiful roving. A la Jimmy Cracker, really. The pace he took that off the pack was just fantastic.
What a performance by McAdam. I agree with you with Rock. But this young player, goal number 10, double figures in his 2nd game. He kicks and he's put it through. 10 goals, Adrian McAdam. Great performance. Well done to the youngster. 30 goals to North Melbourne. You don't see that too often.
Yes, and against South Melbourne, Sam Kekovich kicked 10 and Jock Spencer, but Jock also kicked 11. That's the record.
Well, he can thank Anthony Rock for that one. He didn't have to move. 10 goals. Great performance. What, he's got... What?
Record-breaking day at Princes Park for North Melbourne. 10 goals for McAdam, 30 goals for North. It's the first time they've kicked 30 against the Swans. The record against Sydney for North is 11, individual record, so McAdam's still got a bit of time for that. There's 11 minutes remaining. Here's Daniels. Lewis. Smith rips it off him to Schwass. North Melbourne have got an insatiable appetite for the footy at the moment. Archer squaring kick to centre half forward. Oh, well done, Pyman. Brunton. Out wide. Long race. Strooper run down by McAdam. Out of play.
I think he might become the idol of the North Melbourne supporters somehow, Ross.
Pete, are you giving 3-2-1?
I've already written it down. Three votes. Adrian McAdam, 10 goals from a forward pocket.
Here's German. Longmire on a lead. Oh, good mark. Well, he's been overshadowed, John Longmire. A bit like the day Ian Chappell battled with Barry Richards. No one realised that Chappell got 100 and Richards got 300. This man has kicked 7.
Yes, I'm just looking at my book and it's a real clutter down the bottom there at numbers 35 and 41. Longmire 2. He kicked 4 in the third quarter. Just the one. He's going for his second in this quarter.
Drop punt. That's 8 for Longmire. Well, I joked earlier, Roscoe, about that Geelong record of 37-17. They're not going to get there, but for that 15 quiet minutes in the second quarter, they would have given it a little touch-up.
Yes. Oh, it's a terrific effort there, and to have done that the way they have with such clean ball handling. So the ball has come down there on numerous occasions, so they've been given the opportunity, but they've taken full advantage of it.
Well, 31-15, 201 to 81. Here they go again. Jose Ramiro, and the mark has been taken down there by Werner. Out wide is Daniels, and Swans a bit of watch it, he'll get 50. Now he plays on. Begovic has had a quiet day. Wheeler coming through the centre. Clarkson caught him, just enough to put him off. Scholl went straight at the ball. Hutton a fumble. Now McGovern. A hand pass wide. Here's Scotty Waters, a chance on the left foot. He shoots it at goal and puts it through. The hoots that you hear are from the North Melbourne supporters. 31-15 to 13-9, and Waters has kicked 2.
Yes, and Scotty Waters here just with that fumble by Hutton. Another 3 West Australians there. Hutton, McGovern, then to Waters. And Scotty Waters, who played his 50th game last week. I thought he was the player who was their best player last week as well.
Thought you were going to wrap up all the West Australians then, Ross?
Yes, and now Grant Vernon, the West Australian, will bounce the ball.
201 to 87. Good on you, Roscoe. Rock had an airy. He hasn't had too many of those. German with a long one. And a behind. 31-16. Well, it's rare that you see 200 points in a football match scored. What a massive victory, and we talked earlier about even competition percentage being important at the end of the year. And Ross has set out the next month for North. This is a very important win.
Free kick to Swash.
Yes. A very important win, the fact that the margin is so great. And it's going to be a big cushion for North now.
The amount of rain falling too, Bruce.
Tumbling down Roscoe. Gee, lovely kick by Schwass. Carey, oh, great mark.
He's just so strong in those situations. He just sets himself. His body's so strong. He's very hard to move. Coming in from the pack there, in front, just knew he had it, controlled it beautifully. Bayes just conceding he was on such a good player today. They're good stats from a player who hasn't dominated.
Goal number 3. And this is a real cricket score now, isn't it? 32 goals, 16.
But as you said, Bruce, it is important when you get to these games and you're having this sort of a run on that you do take full toll of it, because as you mentioned later in the year, percentage really does make a big difference in such a tight season that we expect it to be because of the way it started. So you must make every post a winner.
Well, I just wonder, Peter, there's what, 8 minutes remaining. Could North kick 5 goals in 8 minutes?
I don't think so.
No, well, you wouldn't think so.
No, you wouldn't think so. Particularly now it's drizzling a bit. It'll just make that ball a little bit slippery.
37-17 Geelong, 239 is the record.
Against the Bears. Now the bounce. Strooper to do the ruck work. Stop Waters. Now Swash. Oh, Pyman. Swash tries to crash his way through the centre. McGovern is there, number 16. and they lock it in there. It'll be a bounce. Murray Bird bounces. Is he a West Australian too, Ross?
No, and he's not related to Vicky Bird either.
As we see Strooper. Oh, he's caught as he slipped. Wayne Swasser. Here they go again. Carey and Longmire are there. Mark Bays, the bounce of the ball. Longmire and Bryce. Here's big Alex Ashenko. He wants to get into the action. Here's Carey. Oh, cleverly done. Peter German. Oh, it's another one. It's not only raining from the heavens, it's raining goals. 33-16 to 13-9.
Yes, Pete, I think you coined that very well, and it was very interesting to see how Sydney react to this, what they do with their players. They really haven't had many options today, the respective coaches. Watch this again, Ashenko just playing like a rover there. But both Brett Scott and Kevin Egan, very few options today.
North Melbourne charging down on this record. Free kick against Waters. They're 4 goals away from creating all-time figures with 6 3/4 minutes remaining. Laidley. Oh, this will be courage.
Whoa!
He kept his eye on it, Archer, didn't he? And so did McRae. Well done. Now Waters. Handball missing its mark that time. Oh, well played by Clarkson, and a ferocious tackle on McGovern. Might have got him a bit low, but no free kick. Bays, who's been totally eclipsed by Carey since half-time, out of play.
I think the numbers have beaten Bays, haven't they? They're just coming down too often.
Yes. I find Carey's just niggled a hammy there, or his knee.
Back of the knee by the look, Ross,
Yeah.
which would
Oh, that doesn't look good.
be a real worry. Ramiro's kick to centre half forward. Oh, bad play by Sydney. Here's Ashenko for his third.
On his left foot, Bruce.
Well, Carey looks as if he's all right, but he's so important to them.
I just wonder, sometimes he may even get a bit of a cramp, or the way he fell. It's his... Oh, he just flicked it out, perhaps almost hyperextended a little.
Paul Kelly tries to get it out of the centre. 34-16 to 13-9. Here's Clarkson. Oh, they're off again. Stevens, McAdam, combining Pyman. Here they go again. Longmire in the back. Free kick, John Longmire against Paul Bryce. Now, Longmire has kicked 8. Don't tell me he's going to kick double figures as well. That's not often done. What I mean is 2 players kicking double figures in the one team.
That's right.
He needs 2 more goals, and we've got 5 minutes of play left.
And currently North scorers there is rating the 8th highest ever in team scores.
Well, here we go. John Longmire, as the drizzle continues, the sun is out. He's going for goal number 9. He stabs. It's starting to come back. No, it did not come back. So we will not see 2 players kicking double figures, I wouldn't think.
Well, what a remarkable scoreline. 34 goals, 17. And to think at one stage, Sydney kicked 6 or 7 goals without reply by North in the second term. It's been a strange old match, hasn't it? McRae, not too sure where to go. And he's kicked over the line. And you'd have to say that that was symbolic of Sydney's woes. I think a few of the North Melbourne players have looked at the scoreboard and realised that records are there to be broken today.
He's the odd player around the ball there, Bruce.
Just the odd one. Ashenko. The umpire's gone down, unable to make a decision. I hope he's all right, Grant Vernon. Here's Roberts. Slippery ball now. Oh, he's going to take a free kick back. It's going to Archer. Advantage has been paid to Archer.
Or free kick down the field.
He's going to kick from about 55 metres with 4.5 minutes remaining. North Melbourne creeping its way further into the record books here. High drop punt. Ashenko sets himself. Longmire, whole heap of players. Ramiro went down. Sydney desperate round the footy. Here's McAdam. Will it be number 11? Bang over the shoulder. No, behind.
You got excited, Pete?
Oh, well, he would have equalled the record if he kicked that of Jock Spencer. That's been held since the 1950s.
10-5 he's kicked.
Yep.
Bryce.
Ball Bryce to the half-back line. Ball hits the deck. Oh, Clarkson went in very, very hard. There's Ramiro. Taken away by Wheeler. Matthew Wheeler slips over. And now on the right foot, he brings it in towards the half-forward line. Hutton, can he get there? Yes, he can with pace. Oh, he might have pulled up with a bit of a hammy. That was a hamstring stretcher or a groin. He went for the groin. He might have hurt that groin then. In towards half-forward. Well done by Anthony Rock. Tremendous play by Anthony Rock. Here's Big Alex. Big Alex Sashenko bombs it in. Longmire, oh, he pushed Bryce out. Bryce went to play on. Oh, Bryce called play on. Holding the ball. Unlucky Paul Bryce because he wasn't sure whether the umpire paid it or not, or what the umpire was doing.
Yes, yeah.
Really, he probably should have bounced it.
Yes, there's a seed of doubt there in his mind.
But nevertheless,
looking up the umpire, and he thought, no, he's paid the mark, so he went back to have his kick, but it was actually called play on.
That's exactly what happened. So bad luck to Paul Bryce, but nevertheless, John Longmire is going to kick goal number 9 probably here. From directly in front, Johnny Longmire's put it through.
Yes, well, good work there by Rock through the centre again, and Mashenko receiving a handball on the run. And here, just that incident again, you just see Bryce momentarily look up at the umpire to see whether the decision's been paid. It's been called play on.
He waited for the whistle, didn't he? And
yes.
3 minutes remaining. Can North Melbourne kick 2 goals in 3 minutes to create an all-time record? I reckon they've got a chance. McAdam, who's kicked 10. Now, will he equal the all-time record against Sydney by a North Melbourne player?
Jock Spencer, the great North Melbourne full forward of the 50s. He was a tremendous player. You wouldn't remember him, Ross, because you're too young.
Thanks,
but he was a fantastic player and a chance for this youngster to equal it.
Well, 7 goals against Richmond in his opening match and 10 today. McAdam, drop punt, didn't kick it so well. He's kicked 10 goals, 6 today, and 35-19 North Melbourne. Remembering Longmire's got 9, and I know this is a hard question, and Peter's already raised it, but when's the last? Well, if Longmire did get 10 and 10.
Well, I don't know whether it's ever been done, has it? 2 lots of double figures. That'd be an interesting stat.
What about at Collingwood when you kicked all those goals? You wouldn't have given anyone else a chance.
I certainly didn't handball to anyone. Here's Wheeler at half back.
Rest assured of that.
Well, they didn't handball much in those days, Ross. As we see the mark taken by Ed Considine. They look totally demoralised at the moment, the Swans. Watters to Hutton, and Hutton is marked 40 metres from goal. So John Hutton, since being moved to full forward, has kicked 3.
I think you're right, but I think he might have strained his groin in that previous attempt to mark, or when he took that mark, I should say, just overstepped a bit. He's a bit stiff.
Hey, do you reckon he's wasting a bit of time? He would have played for Brisbane last year when Geelong kicked that record score, wouldn't he?
Yes, I think so.
I think he knows all about it.
Well, here we go. John Hutton for his 4th. He's a good kick normally. It's not bad. It's a goal, I think. Yes. So John Hutton has kicked 4 goals. 14-9 Sydney. North Melbourne 35-19, a mammoth score.
Yeah, and he's made the most of his opportunities when they've come down there with his kicking. 4 goals, having started at full back. He has kicked 2 goals in the second quarter, 1 on the third, now 1 in this last quarter, so an even contribution from Hutton.
Minute remaining. Kelly out of the centre. Goes bang to full forward. Scholl gets back. And the bouncing ball out of play. So North won't break that Geelong record. They've created a club record today, though, against Sydney. 229-93. And firmly on top of the table tonight, no question about that.
Should help their percentage along, won't it?
Give it a real boost. Fairley and Strooper. Watters, will he kick his 3rd goal? Snapshot looks pretty good. It's a goal. So 3 to Waters, and his has been an excellent contribution. 19 kicks, 11 handballs.
Yes, he has been a good workhorse, and there's been a quality, as I mentioned a few times about Scott Waters. He does use the ball very well, very strong on his feet, rarely gets knocked off the football or is on his hands and knees. He's always on his feet and uses the ball very well.
So the last rights in this game, where it's been a game of excesses, hasn't it? Individual and team. As Sydney suddenly finds some form in the last minute or two. They kicked 2 goals in about 30 seconds. Lewis. And this will be the last play, you'd think. We're inside 30 seconds.
Well, he's going for goal number 5, Bruce.
And he's such a good kick, Peter, that you'd say he's at least an even money chance of doing it. And Sydney certainly wasting time, realising that they were in the embarrassing position of having a record kicked against them, as Lewis leans back and goes, and that's a good kick, and I reckon it's a goal. Well, 3 goals for Sydney in the last 2 minutes. It still doesn't do a lot for the score. 35-19, 2:29 to 16-9, 105. Longmire 9. By the way, Lewis did get 5 goals, which is a pretty tidy effort. 9 for Longmire and 10 for McAdam, though. That was the major story from the day. Quite an amazing scoreline, isn't it? North Melbourne 35-19, 11 goals in the first, 10 in the third, 10 in the last. 2:29 over Sydney 16-9, 105, and 3 of those Sydney goals coming in the last minute and a half. 2 great goal-kicking machines in their day, Peter McKenna and Ross Glendinning, to talk about a game of excesses, particularly for North.
Yes, they really did make the most of their opportunities, Pete, didn't they? And to kick 10 goals plus in 3 quarters was just a great effort, and Sydney redeemed themselves a little bit in that second quarter, Pete, but just not enough throughout the game.
They're just totally outmanned, weren't they? They were beaten by a better side. They couldn't control McAdam up forward, or Longmire, and of course Carey. They've got great goal-kicking potential, North Melbourne, and they're a lot harder at the ball at the centre bounces, particularly with Anthony Rock and Swans and those guys in there.
You said earlier in the commentary too, their tackling had improved, and their running. They've got great stability now. People like Laidley, Blakey coming to the side, who I think actually sitting on the sidelines, I should mention, may have hurt his knee, so let's hope he's not too badly hurt. But they've got a tough run coming in now, North Melbourne, the next month of football. It'll really test them, won't it?
Huge test for them in the next few weeks.
Well, they went pretty well today, didn't they? We take a break, back with more after this.